Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this lovely, lovely morning? Good morning, CFM Queen. Good morning, Black Hat Music. Good morning, Hot Spot, Michelle. Um, my beautiful honey, like American honey. Get to know. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Get to know. Hey, Miss Praditha. Um, hey, let's go scroll up. Eee, Miss. Hey, hubby. Hey, Crystal Ann. Hey, Miss Bambi. Hey, Cut and Shoot. Hey, love. How y'all doing this morning? Y'all doing pretty good? Now, remember, this is your med check reminder right now to take your medications and don't be like me and forget your ADHD medication. It's your blood pressure medication. All those good, lovely things that you gotta do early in the morning. Hey, K fam. Also, I heard today was somebody's birthday. I don't know who that is. I mean, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, baby shark doo 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 doo. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, K fam. I hope you have the best day ever for your birthday. And anybody else out there, if today is your day, I want you to celebrate it and smile on this Wellness Wednesday. See, I create actual content, and I think that really upsets people because I do actual content, real content, right? And today, I was going to teach y'all a little something about, narcissistic personality disorder, about crystal meth use, and about people who have syphilis and when it rots their brains and how it affects them, especially if they have the kind that is incurable because they decided not to. They have it. If you get it and you don't take care of it and you don't get the medication for it and you leave it unchecked and untreated, it can become, um, you know, untreatable. And then when it becomes untreatable, it starts to affect you, right? It starts to eat away at your brain. It starts to make you blind in your eye. Yes, useful, informative, and interesting content. Yes. And so there is literally a person that I know who has untreated syphilis. And they quite literally are going blind in their eyes and they get hallucinations and dementia. And they also, have an addiction to methamphetamines. And so when someone has that addiction, you got to compound that situation. So, you know, um, hallucinations can be also a side effect of methamphetamine use. And, that's something that we have to talk about because, addiction is a hard thing to break, right? Someone with neurosyphilis can also get meningitis, seizures. It's called Tabes dorsal. This causes abnormal sensation as well as muscle weakness. Ocular syphilis, sensitivity to light, pain in the eye, redness in the eye, seeking spots in field of visions, blurry vision, blindness, and changes to their vision. They can also have cardiovascular syphilis, osteosyphilis, dizzy, trouble balancing, vertigo, loss of hearing, tendinitis. They can get inflammation of the aorta or aortic valve insufficiency, narrowing of the coronary arteries, aortic aneurysm, obstruction of coronary arteries, grammastosis syphilis during the late stages of uh, tertiary. Why am I messing up that word? Syphilis growth similar to tumors can form. These are called guma and are swollen or dead tissue. They are caused by the same form of bacterium that causes the syphilis infection. Most common, they occur on the liver, but may also appear on the skin, heart, brain, bone, testes, eyes. In congenital syphilis, this infection passed from a pregnant person to a fetus. They can have low birth weight, rash, anemia, high cholesterol levels at birth, jaundice, enlarged spleen or liver, redness, hair loss. Late congenital syphilis may also cause symptoms after the age of 5. Some people may be undiagnosed. Pain in the bones, eye, blurred vision, abnormal level of sensitivity to light, prominent bony forehead, fissures. There is treatment, and it is possible to treat it. However, it won't reverse the damage already done by the infection. And there are actually people who have this disorder that um, they can't treat it because it's become immune to all hey Miss Crystal Ann and hey CFM Queen. uh it literally becomes untreatable because it is what is it called? You know when they have you can't use penicillin anymore to fix the situation. Antibiotic resistant. Yeah, it becomes a point when it becomes antibiotic resistance. And did you know? I don't know if y'all know this, but did you know that if someone has this disorder and it becomes a debilitating disorder, that they can draw a disability check for that? I don't know if y'all know that. But yeah, because a person going blind in their eyes, they can actually do that. So that's something that to think about. You know, and so I wanted to sit there and talk about that situation because there are certain people who are spreading rumors who that's a part of their life. That's something they have to deal with every day. So hopefully they get the help they need. But I'm going to also talk about narcissistic personality disorder because there are people out here who are extremely narcissist, right? They have a grandiose sense of self. Miss Bambi, she covers that almost on every Wellness Wednesday. So if you don't know that, Miss Bambi has some great content on that. But here are things. This is narcissistic personality disorder, right? The symptoms are they have an unreasonably high sense of self importance and require constant, excessive admiration. They feel they deserve privileges and special treatment, expect to be recognized as superior even without achievements, make achievements and talents seem bigger than they are, be preoccupied with fantasies about success, power, brilliance, beauty, or the perfect mate, believe they are superior to others and can only spend time with or be understood by equally special people, be critical of and look down on people they feel are not important, expect special favors and expect other people to do what they want without questioning them, take advantage of others to get what they want, have an inability or unwillingness to recognize the needs and feelings of others, be envious of others, and believe others are envious of them, behave in an arrogant way, brag a lot, come across as conceited, insist on having the best of everything. For instance, the best car, the best office, the best home, the best this, that, or next thing. At the same time, people with narcissistic personality disorder have trouble handling anything they view as criticism. They can become impatient or angry when they don't receive special recognition or treatment, have major problems interacting with others, and easily feel slighted, react with rage or contempt, try to belittle other people to make themselves appear superior, have difficulty managing their emotions and behavior, experience major problems dealing with stress and adapting to change, withdraw from or avoiding situations in which they might fail. That's why some people like to come after women and they won't go after another man because they feel that they will fail at that. They like to go after people and belittle them to try to make themselves feel better. So they'll make up all kind of lies and different things to make themselves seem superior and better. Feel depressed and moody because they fall short of perfection. So they're extremely angry and extremely depressed and moody because they're not perfect. Have secret feelings of insecurity, shame, humiliation, and fear of being exposed as a failure. They cannot stand when someone exposes their failures. It is a huge part of their personality. They cannot seem to, and there's 10 things that, not to do with a narcissist, and we're going to go over theirs. Don't give them ammunition. Narcissists need to feel superior. Anything you share with a narcissist may eventually be used to humiliate or manipulate you, particularly when you are most vulnerable or in need. Be mindful about what you reveal. Don't take them at face value. Image is everything to a narcissist. Narcissists lie easily and often seem entirely convinced of even their most craziest lies, right? Their most preposterous lies. They work tirelessly to present a perfect, shining facade. Yet underneath, people with narcissism often feel empty and illegitimate. We can have compassion for narcissist wounds, yet not be taken in their pretense. All that glitters is not gold. Don't try to justify or explain yourself. Narcissists often put others on the defense without pointed questions or sarcasm, posturing as though you must explain yourselves to them. You need not justify your feelings or explain your thoughts. The more you do, the more you are at risk of them gaslighting you or to induce self doubt. Defending yourself to a narcissist is generally a waste of time. Narcissists tend to be interested in winning, not listening, self promoting, not communicating. Don't minimize their outrageous behavior. Narcissists' self absorbed behavior and need for attention can take up all the emotional oxygen in the room. Over time, people around narcissists may become injured and fail to recognize how unhealthy narcissistic behavior can be. Let's be clear, deceiving, manipulating, and humiliating others is unhealthy and wrong. At times, it may be best to let the narcissist's immature and provocative behaviors pass without comment. But that doesn't mean you should fail to note, at least to yourself, how dysfunctional it is. Don't expect them to own their part. Narcissists take credit and give blame. They do not apologize or admit responsibility. Seeking to get a narcissist to be held accountable for unhealthy behavior can be a waste of time. Narcissists believe they have more rights than others and have little interest in introspection. They love to look at their accomplishments, successes, and special talents, but fear looking within and owning their mistakes. If you want to hold them accountable, fine, but do so because you need to say it, not because you expect they will ever hear or validate your concerns. Don't try to beat them at their own game. It may be tempting, but remember, narcissists have spent a lifetime perfecting a campaign of self aggrandizement. They carry out more manipulative actions in a week than most people do all year. Narcissists have a moral fear of being humiliated or inferior. As a result, they devote massive energy to cultivating sources of ego boosting, generally at others' expenses. Trying to beat them in a war of words or adopt their techniques is akin to an amateur going up against a seasoned pro. It won't feel good and it rarely works. Instead, be you and be true to your values. Don't expect loyalty. Many people are stunned at how quickly and easily narcissists cast off others. When the narcissist feels his or her needs are unmet, narcissists view others as a source of gratification, not as equals. They use language as tools and weapons rather than to convey truth. This comes from the shaky sense of self, which gives their needs and fears a life or death quality. Expecting loyalty from people who are in it only for themselves is counterproductive. Depending on narcissists for important needs is a prescription for disappointment. Don't personalize what they do. Narcissists tend to view others as their potential threats or potential victims. They seek advantage over everybody. While their worst mistreatment is often reserved for those closest to them, nobody is immune from narcissistic manipulation. If you take what a narcissist does personally, you grant them real estate in your mind and psyche, which is exactly what they seek. Narcissists will target anyone who happens across their path. It's not personal, it's just what they do. Don't expect empathy. A hallmark of narcissism is a lack of empathy. Empathy is based on the assumption that others are worthy and deserve equal attention and compassion. Does that sound like something a narcissist would believe? Their sense of entitlement leaves them feeling little interest in playing fair or reciprocating. Their grandiosity leads them to see others as inferior and therefore undeserving of compassion. Rather than expecting empathy and reciprocity from a narcissist, focus on respecting yourself and honoring your needs and your rights. Don't underestimate the power of a narcissist. Narcissism is a deep distortion of one's sense self. A narcissist's life is about gaining narcissistic supply, attention, wealth, power, control, sexual conquest, and more. They have a bottomless hunger and need to be endlessly fed. Furthermore, while people with narcissistic personality disorder or a strong narcissistic style may alter some behaviors over time, the psychological dynamics of narcissism generally lasts a lifetime. Hoping narcissists will change is a setup. Recognizing that narcissists are caught in an endless quest for attention and approval can free you from your false expectations and allow you to set healthy boundaries. We can have compassion for the struggles and limitations of people with narcissism, yet compassion does not mean allowing others to hurt or take advantage of you. It is up for you to take care of yourself. That is not narcissism, it is healthy living. Here's the thing about a narcissist, right? Hey, Arky Saucy. Um, Also Sauce. Hey, Mustard Squirrel. Um, Yes, please make sure you share anybody's link who wants it. Thank you so much, my beautiful cut and shoot. Hey, Miss Heidi. Sorry I was over there reading. Um, I was reading some stuff, and you are extremely right, Miss Bambi. There's only black and white with narcissists, good or evil, right or wrong, hero, villain. They have no true self. They have no sense of self. They have no idea who they are technically. They don't have boundaries. You have to put up your boundaries, right? Hey, Miss Lacey. Um, I will say, learning about narcissism can help you avoid narcissism in a way. And it says when dealing with narcissists, avoid the following behaviors. Depend on them. Relying on a narcissist may not work out well. Try to change them. Narcissists are unlikely to change. Expect reciprocity or enduring loyalty. Anything you get from them often comes with strings attached, which we have seen. We've seen it for our own eyes that people with narcissistic personality disorder expect their followers to have undying loyalty to them, right? And do anything they say. And the moment that they don't listen or do what they say, obviously they sit there and they start calling them chomos and different things. Also, I like that word and didn't know it was a thing. But anyway, you know, useful words. Instead, not saying anything can hurt them more. A lot of times with a narcissist, they want your attention, whether it be good or bad. You have to cut off their attention, right? You have to cut off their supply. They want your attention. They want to go back and forth. They want to do these things. But if you ignore them, it hurts them worse than it would if you were to, let's say something, right? So sometimes saying nothing is better than saying something. And sometimes we have to be quiet, right? Because we're making sure that we're doing what legal counsel tells us to do, right? So sometimes we have to make sure that we go by the letter of the law ourselves. We have to make sure that we do things the right way, not the wrong way. Also, narcissists need to be seen as the best at everything. So when you bring up their faults in the things that they do that are false, it really breaks um you know, it really breaks their heart. It really hurts them. Narcissists cannot stand for you to hold a mirror up to their faults. And they will never take responsibility for their actions and apologize and be the bigger person. Like when you literally take um and do things to people that are evil and awful, they will never retrospectively look at what they've done. Good. Oh, it's okay. Cut and shoot, love. You're okay, sweetheart. Everybody, and thank you, Mr. Jim Coddington, the best Jim ever. And Mustard Squirrel was gifted. Yay, Mustard Squirrel. Um, but narcissists will never ever admit when they're wrong. So even if they know for a fact they scammed mothers of missing children, even if they know that they've done something evil to someone else, they will never admit when they're wrong. They will never go up there and say, "Hey, I put the pedo jacket on your back. I'm so sorry for that. I'm supposed to be your friend." They'll never ever do that. And the crazy part, hey, Fast Eddie, the crazy part about narcissism is that no matter how much you try to help them, you're not going to be able to do so. No matter how much you think they'll change, they will not do so. They're always going to be that way, and they will push away everyone in their life. The only thing is that I hope for, you know, um, some people that are in these people's lives that they go get therapy afterward, because narcissistic abuse syndrome is a real thing. And people who suffer from narcissistic or become narcissistic usually it narcissism breeds narcissism. So it usually doesn't fall far from the tree. And usually is very within families, right? Because one narcissist makes another and another and another, right? Um, but Arkansas, sweetheart, I need you to do one thing for me. Write down the name of your disorder so I can actually do the research on it and so I can teach one, reach one about it. Because I forgot how to spell it. Yeah. And I know right now you're running around with babes, but I do want to reach one, teach one about it, because not everybody knows about it. And I believe that people need to learn about it. Because, people make up falsities about your disorder, right? And this way, we can show what it really is and what you have to deal with on a daily basis. So, all these people who claim, like I've said this story before, and I'll say it again. My son, who is almost 18 years old, not a child anymore, um, literally has mild cerebral palsy. Yes, he had to wear braces as a child on his leg. Yes, he had to have surgery to be able to walk like you and I when he was younger. No, he does not draw a government check because they've stated that he is just like any other child his age. I just wanted to make sure that's known right there. Um, you know, Making fun of people with disabilities, still not cool. Never will be. Um, but people can't be that type of person to not do that. Hey, Avery, love. I hope you're having a good morning and be safe, okay? Be safe, sweet Avery, on your way, in the car and the long drive. Okay, you be safe in your travels wherever you're going in this world. Please be very safe. Um, I just want everyone, hey, racing stars. I just want y'all to be real safe out on those streets, okay? Because this world is evil and awful enough. We've seen the evil and awful. And the fact that, a narcissist doesn't care about their friends, right? They call them friends or associates. They don't care. They're using those people for their attention. Once those people don't allow them to do so, then they quite literally will turn on that person. And I do believe that they don't care. They do not care that a person that they claim as a friend If they lose their livelihood, they don't care if rumors are spread about them. They don't care what happens to their reputation. They really don't care. Sad part is, even people who are not narcissists try to take up for said people and don't let a false rumor be spread about them, and they're considered bad people for that, right? Even if because the narcissist has them blinded. If you've ever had a narcissist in your life, a lot of times you're blinded by they're very charismatic. A lot of narcissists are extremely charismatic, right? They're like a wolf in sheep's clothing or a snake that you don't see until you get bit. You think you're holding a centipede or a worm, but then that snake bites you. Take a expert out of Miss Josie's book right here. In the very first of the Mob 2 Chronicles number 2, by Miss Josie, if it rattles like a snake and slithers like a snake, is it a snake or do you need to get bit? Some people don't understand that with a narcissist, you're just waiting, you're biding your time until you're bit because you mean nothing to them. Even their family means nothing to them. They claim that for attention, but technically, no one in their life means more to them than them. And they would throw even their own child under the bus for their attention. They would literally throw their own mother and father under the bus for that attention and to grandiose themselves and make themselves look better. If in case if a person even disagrees with them, they will throw that person under the bus. They make up heinous lies and slander people. Why? Because that's what their narcissism requires. It's okay, Avery love. It's okay. You just make sure that you're safe up there. Okay? Make sure you're safe and everything. And thank you, Miss Cut and Shoot, for dropping all of everybody's links. Thank you so much. Much love, Avery. Everybody in chat said hey to you, and they know you can't really speak like you normally would. And they said, much love to you. So I know that you necessarily cannot look in chat per se, but everybody said hey and they send their love. Also, to all my bushwatchers out there, hey. How you doing? I hope you're having a good day at work. To all those who can't chat and chat, thank you for being here and hitting that like button and enjoying real content. I will say, Miss Crystal, I do understand sometimes you get a twitchy finger and start blocking folks. When you have to go in and clear that out, it does sometimes. Hey, Miss Joy. You're okay, Miss Joy. Um, you have to go in there and manually undo that. And sometimes if you're blocking them while you're in chat, you have to go back through your Google account and do it. So, maybe I'll show y'all how to unblock people. Because I do note that some people don't know how to do that. And so I want to help my community instead of hurting my community. I want to help people instead of hurt people. Because that's the type of person I am. Actually, I help people. Um, so I also do want to make sure that anybody who has dealt with a narcissist knows ways to protect themselves from a narcissist. Don't give them the attention that they want. Don't try to change them. Don't expect empathy. Don't like in their mind, no matter what you think of if they're your friend, they're not actually your friend. They're using you for they need um they need the attention. Here are 50 phrases that can be used to disarm a narcissist. Let's find a solution that works for both of us. I understand your perspective. I value diverse viewpoints, including yours. Building a healthy and positive dynamic is crucial. Approaching this situation with empathy and understanding will help us find common ground. There might be some miscommunication. I respect your point of view, but let's prioritize cooperation over competition. You're so awesome at that. We messed up that situation, didn't we? I realize this is a difficult situation for you. Let's agree to disagree and move on. We can each deserve a fair chance to share our opinion. I understand where you're coming from, but I am not responsible for your anger. If nothing changes, our relationship will have to end. Like these are just regular phrases that you may have to use, right? Acknowledging their perspective, like I understand you feel why you feel that way. Establishing your boundaries, right? You have to set those boundaries. Make sure they know what your boundaries are, right? Um Narcissistic abuse syndrome though, it is almost like a person becomes like they have Stockholm syndrome. Good morning on the sidelines. Good morning, love. Cut all contact. Yep. You have to cut all contact with a narcissistic personality person. And you also have to know that if you were in the situation for a long time, you almost feel like a person who has Stockholm syndrome. And what happens is you actually crave the abuse from the narcissist. Hey, Susie. Hi, how you doing? I actually love your name. I saw you the other day. I was like, oh my god, I love that name. Right and Crotch. That's hilarious. Um, you have to cut all contact and never return. True. You have to make sure that they know that you will not take their shit. They have to know that you've set your boundaries clearly. Also, don't give them the attention that they want. They thrive on it. They love it. Take that attention away from them, right? I love your name. I think it's all awesome. I just really like your name. I think it's pretty cool. I love people who come up with like really cool names like Cut and Shoot. Who would have thought to came up with that on the sidelines? You know what I'm saying? American Honey. Like I love some of y'all's names. I think it's awesome because you came up with a very original name for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I had when I first started going live here, I had a person come in with I I'm not it's not a troll page and um I don't know why, Susie. I love your name. Um and then you see in the person's page, they actually thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um I'm going to make sure I copy that so that I can do my due diligence on that. I know right now you're busy and whatnot, but I am going to go over that for people in a minute. But I just had to bring up what narcissists are, and how they thrive on attention. Oh, really? That's pretty cool. That's awesome. I need to go there one day. But the funny part about a narcissist, if you don't give them the attention, they get really mad and upset and start stomping their feet like a 2-year-old child. Why won't they show me attention? I want their attention. And like they're reaching for you for that fact. They really want your attention. In fact, when they see you as that person and they're constantly reaching for you, and trying to talk to you or trying to come in your chats and harass you and stuff like that, it's because they really need attention in their life. They're not getting the attention that they really, really want. So they'll try to get that attention, good, bad, or indifferent. Yes, they start calling you and threatening you. Sure do, Lacey. They really want that attention so bad, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. They really extremely want that. And so some of the best things you can do is cut off the narcissist. And then sometimes you have to take legal action. And to be able to take legal action, there's certain things that you have to do, right? So, um, there's sometimes that you have to do that because when they become incessantly doing that, sometimes you have to take out, a restraining order. Huggies, Miss Crystal. Thank you for the super stickers. Yeah, and then they'll tell everyone you said you were going away and slander you, and they'll continue. And here's the crazy part. It's because they really want your attention so bad. Hey, Mr. Chris. And they really do value your opinion. They just act like they don't, right? And they can't stand if you actually do call them out on their BS. If you try to call them out on what they've done or their misfortunes or where they're not perfect and they want that perfection, right? They get really upset because to them, they're the most perfect creature on God's green earth when they're not. And they never will be. They have very sensitive egos. Yes, they do. Because they think that they're better than every other person in this world. When technically most of them are extremely, they don't have a good self-worth technically. They think they do. They projecting this huge ego and this huge they have a lot of insecurities. Yes, Lacey. They're extremely insecure about themselves. They hate to be rejected. They hate when you leave them. They hate when they lose. They hate when they know that they don't have you and they didn't do right. They hate when they know they lost. They can't stand to lose, right? It really eats them up. They will stay up at night and not get any sleep. I slept like a baby last night. I don't know about y'all, but I slept good. I slept extremely well. And they really don't care about people that they claim they're friends with. They're using them. And they will throw them away at the first opportunity. First opportunity, they will throw that person away. They will throw them under the bus. They cannot stand to be told no. They cannot stand not to be talked about or their name not to be said. Why? Because they really need that attention. Extremely need that attention. To the point of it's the only thing that makes them feel validated. And that's really sad to me that they have to reach for that kind of attention because they don't feel validated in their real life. And they project anything of their faults onto other people because that's truly what's happened to them. It's truly what they do, right? Because of that. Hey Buster, what's up? Hey love. They also expect everyone to sit down and shut up. Oh yes, Feeble, you made it. You made it to the ex stripper support group. Um, a lot of us are ex strippers, and we was making money on that pole or whatnot. So this is the ex stripper support group. Also, yeah, and they never do anything wrong, right, Lacey? Ever. They never do nothing wrong. They can't stand in their stuff. Like me, if I made a mistake on someone or I said something that may have been wrong, I will apologize for it and correct that said behavior, right? I will correct it because I'm big enough to know when I make a mistake, right? And I'm not a narcissist, so I will apologize for my mistakes, right? We all fall short. Nobody's perfect. But narcissists believe they are perfect and are perfection when it's the furthest from the truth. They keep trying to do that because they're trying to lie to their own brain to, grandiose themselves because they know they're not. They're not good people. Hey, Maddie. Oh, snap, Mr. Chris. I didn't mean to accidentally out you as an ex stripper. Damn, man, I apologize. How are you doing this morning? So, with narcissists, you just have to basically cut off their supply, right? You have to cut off their supply, and sometimes you might have to do things on the back end, right? Without saying things. Sometimes you have to just cut off. You have to cut off the narcissist, like they don't exist. And they never existed in your world because they were never worth it in the first place. They were never good enough to be worth it in the first place. And no matter what lies they think they tell, they think they're going to hurt others when truly they didn't hurt anybody, right? They try to do that and do smear campaigns, right? To try to hurt people when it doesn't hurt nobody at all. Because actions always speak louder than words. A nice person and a good person that treats others nicely, you're not going to be able to ruin their reputation like yours has, right? Um, you're not going to be able to do those things because others see their actions. When you see somebody's actions for what it really is, then you, in discernment, can understand that that's actually a good person. Good morning, good morning. Also, they hate when somebody else has a talent that they do not have, or when other people are actually extremely talented and they're not. They love doing smear campaigns. It's one of their favorite things, Susie. They absolutely love doing that to people because they're trying to make others feel lower than them, trying to a narcissist will literally try to make someone unalive themselves, and they feel like they win if they do that. They will literally try to make people run away and cry, and they think they win if they do that. That's how evil their brains are sometimes. That's their ultimate goal, is to make others feel inferior, because technically they feel inferior. They feel like failures. And so they want to try to make everybody else feel that way, right? They're projecting their insecurities on others. That's what they love to do. And so, how do you take care of a narcissist? You don't give them the attention that they want. You don't give them the reaction that they're hoping to get out of you, right? You don't give them that reaction. They want that. And they really hate to lose. They really hate to be wrong. It's one of their worst traits. That is true, Lacey H. But if you are or were a stripper, it's bad. Yet if you don't do OnlyFans or stripper, it's also bad. The truth is, being dry is not a job or a career. Also, I would like to do a live soon. I'm not sure what day I'm going to do it. About cults and the different things, and if anybody has ever had been in a cult or a cult mentality type of situation, I would love to do a live about that. That's really cool. Um, yeah, coming on YouTube and screaming "I'm dry" is just not a job. Also, panhandling online is like you're doing the same thing, right? As a person who's standing on the street corner. And when you have no content, your only content um on YouTube is to try to smear campaign others. It really proves that you don't have a creative brain, that you can't have real content. And it's really simple to do content technically on here. Just me sitting over there chilling and talking to y'all sometimes is content. So it really does speak to the brain that a person can't, do something so simple as having a normal conversation, right? And that's another thing when you see a narcissistic personality person, sometimes they are extremely racist. Sometimes they're extremely bigoted, and there's a reason why. Because everybody else in their mind is below them, right? Everybody else, even their friends that they consider their friends, right? Um, then they think that all of them are below them. Also, thank you, Mr. Feeble, for your beautiful video. Thank you to everyone for last night, and thank you um Honeybee. Thank you, Honeybee. Thank you, MobTube. Thank you, everyone. I read every single thing. There have been people coming on to my platform and harassing me since yesterday. Just a whole lot of harassing comments, right? And I'm screenshotting and making sure everything is documented because that's what you have to do. You have to document everything. So, you know, that's part of life, having to deal with a narcissistic personality. I do, in some ways, feel bad for some people who are drawn in by the narcissist and don't understand what's happening to them. But there are others who end up becoming narcissists and end up adding to the narcissistic personality and doing the same thing. They say abuse begets abuse, right? An abuse victim ends up becoming the abuser. There's a lot of people who do that actually. They like to abuse people and then expect for not the same thing to happen to them. Also, Miss Crystal Ann, if you ever want to do like conversations or any kind of topic piece for your first live and you would like me to come on over and be there, as long as it's a time that I'm free, I don't mind doing that. Obviously I'll be always in your chat. I've got my notifications turned on. But if you ever wanted to do that, just know if anybody wanted to do that, you want me to be on your panel and you want to have a conversation about anything, just know that all you have to do is reach out. I do not mind helping others create content because that's the type of person that I am, right? I don't mind, doing like some friends of mine, we were doing a panel show, right? Where we talked about viral situations and viral videos. You know, I love creating real content. There are others who don't know how to make content if you wanted to save their lives. And it's real simple. You don't have to do nothing too crazy to create content. Just you could have a conversation show to where you just conversate with your, chat every day. And technically, sometimes that's content, right? But there are certain people who the only way they have content at all or anybody pays attention to them or they get any attention whatsoever is because they have to down and belittle others. They have no other content. They have no other creativity in their life. They have to make fun of disabled people. They have to make fun of different people and stuff like that. That's their only content. They don't know how to be creative. They can't sing, they can't act, they can't dance. So because they have no talent, they consider that their talent. And they only know how to dox people because they're losing. They're always losing. So let's go to we're going to switch gears, you know, because the narcissist doesn't deserve any more attention, right? So you cut off that supply. And we're going to talk about what granulopus with popularis GPA, formerly known um, as Wagner's granulotosis. If I said that correctly, y'all know I'm country as hell. Um, and a lot of people in the country have an education. And I love when, hey, Roddy, love, hey, Woof Woof. Also, y'all, it's, hey, Mr. Phil. Yes, Mr. Phil got it right here. Compensatory narcissists project an exaggerated sense of sub- superiority to mask feelings of inadequacies and low self esteem. Pin the tail on the donkey. That's exactly right, Mr. Phil. Exactly. They need that attention. They need, they really project their shortcomings onto others and the things that they feel about themselves. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go over here. Um and we're going to talk about basically what I'm going to educate the public on what Miss Arkansas has so that y'all can understand it better and understand what she's going through, right? I've said it once before Miss Arkansas even came over here when they were talking about her her condition and making fun of it, that it's, and they said, oh, she shouldn't be on this medication. I'm like, you have no idea what that is, do you? you know so we're going to actually show people what it is and explain it and why she had to go through chemo, and all those situations, because a lot of people don't know it has to deal with autoimmune, right? It has to deal with the immune system. And when the immune system is acting up or acting crazy, sometimes you have to shock the immune system so that it stops attacking healthy cells, right? And so first they'll do the chemo and stuff like that to lower things and different stuff. Sometimes they'll do radiation, and then they'll pop back to immunosuppressants, right? So we're going to learn together what this is. Okay. Granulomatosis with polyangiitis is GPA, and we're going to start calling it GPA, is the new name for what used to be called Wegener's granulomatosis. It is an autoimmune disease that it can affect your whole body, but especially affect your lungs and kidneys. GPA is a chronic inflammation in your smaller blood vessels. Poly the polyangiitis part of it is the chronic inflammation in your smaller blood vessels. The granulomatosis involves small masses forming in your blood vessels and other organs. Overview. What is GPA? GPA is a type of vasculitis, chronic inflammation in your blood vessels. It was formerly called Wagner's granulomatosis, but the new name describes it more precisely. GPA involves inflammation in many different types of blood vessels throughout your body, inflammation masses called granulosis forming in your blood vessels and organs. Different types of vasculitis affect different blood vessels. GPA affects the many smaller blood vessels throughout your body. This means it can cause issues throughout your body, but especially in organs that rely on many small blood vessels. GPA tends to affect your respiratory system and kidneys the most. Inflammation in your blood vessels can cause them to swell, break, and bleed. It can also cause scarring that restricts the blood flow through your vessels, depriving your tissue of oxygen and nutrients. GPA can cause bleeding and organ damage in your renal and pulmonary systems, which is pulmonary renal syndrome. Symptoms and causes. What are the symptoms of GPA? GPA affects your respiratory system and kidneys the most, but can also affect many other organs and tissues and how you feel overall. The smaller blood vessels that it targets travels throughout your body. Vasculitis in your connective tissue may cause muscle pain and joint pain, along with overall feeling unwellness. Other general symptoms may include fatigue, loss of appetite, and weight loss. Respiratory symptoms. Many people with GPA first notice and seek treatment for symptoms in their respiratory system. Early symptoms might resemble a cold or an infection, but they linger too long. They might include sinus headache or pressure, persistent sinus infections, persistent runny nose with crusting around your nostrils, nasal congestion, unexplained repeated nosebleeds, earache, chest pain, chronic cough, shortness of breath. As granulomatosis with polyangiitis worsens, you might develop inflammation of the cartilage in your ears, nose, and throat. This can cause more severe symptoms, including nasal swelling or so severe that your nose bridge collapses, narrowing in your throat, causing hoarseness, wheezing, or stridor, inner ear inflammation, causing vertigo and hearing loss. You can also bleed in your lungs, which might cause shortness of breath or coughing up blood. Kidney symptoms. You may not experience kidney pain with GPA, but you may notice changes in your pee, like foamy pee or blood in your pee, swelling in your face or feet, edema in another system is another symptom of kidney disease, right? You have swelling in your face or in your feet. If you have GPA, healthcare providers will continue to check on your kidneys even if you never develop symptoms. While kidneys aren't always involved in GPA early on, they almost always are eventually. Eye symptoms. GPA can affect your eyes, causing inflammation on the surface of the inner part of your eye. This can cause eye pain and pressure, make your eyes red and swollen. Severe cases can lead to vision loss. Skin symptoms. Vasculitis in your skin may show up as molted skin with a bluish red pattern, purple or red or brown splotches, skin lesions like hard nodules or papules, open sores like ulcers, nervous system symptoms. Granulomatosis with GPA may affect your nervous system. It usually affects your peripheral nervous system, the nerves that extend from your spinal cord to the rest of your body. Inflammation and swelling may compress or damage just one nerve, causing symptoms in just one area. More commonly, it may affect multiple nerves, called polyneuropathy. Symptoms can include motor systems like muscle weakness, sensory symptoms like numbness, tingling, or nerve pain, loss of automatic control of your blood pressure, bladder, or sweating. You may not be able to sweat, so therefore you may actually get overheated easier, and it may affect that part of your body, because sweating is what cools your body down. What are the most serious complications of granulomatosis with uh, polyangiitis? Severe GPA can be organ threatening and life threatening. Complications can include bleeding in your lungs, which can lead to respiratory failure, rapid progressive glomerulitis, kidney disease, which can lead to kidney failure, permanent vision or hearing loss, loss of skin sensation and muscle control. What causes granulomatosis with polyangiitis? GPA, like other types of vasculitis, is an autoimmune disease. This means your immune system generates ongoing inflammation in your blood vessels. Normally, your immune system sends inflammation to target infections, but in autoimmune diseases, it targets your healthy tissue by mistake. What triggers GPA? Researchers aren't sure why autoimmune diseases occur. There are probably multiple factors involved. Sometimes extra stress on your immune system seems to push it into overdrive, triggering dysfunctions. Researchers have associated the onset of GPA with certain severe bacterial or viral infections. GPA belongs to a group of conditions called ANCA associated vasculitis, or AAV. These are types of vasculitis that involves a specific antibody called ANCA. Researchers believe that antibodies play a role in triggering the inflammation in these conditions, including GPA. Diagnosis and test. How is it diagnosed? Tests for GPA include blood tests, including testing for ANCA antibodies, urinalysis, including testing your urine for blood and protein, chest x-rays and CT scans to look at your lungs, biopsy of the lung, sinus, or kidney tissue to look for specific types of inflammation, management and treatment. Healthcare providers treat GPA with anti-inflammatory and immune system suppressing drugs, corticosteroids, and other immunosuppressants. Some of these medications are stronger than others, which combination your provider prescribes will depend on how severe your condition is and how much you're at risk of side effects. High doses of corticosteroids, such as progesterone, these doses will eventually taper off. Rheumatomax MAB, this is a newer biological medication, is now standard treatment. Clamazepam pomade for severe disease, or mexitronate for milder disease. These drugs also treat cancer, but for GPA, at much lower dose, they function as immunosuppressants. So when you take chemo for it, you take it for it because it shocks the and suppresses the immune system. See, in cancer, in the big C, right? They use that to treat the cancer, and that's why a lot of cancer patients have a lower immune system because it still shocks the immune system. Because in cancer, the white blood cells can start to attack just like an autoimmune disease, right? Anivacapan. This drug can be used as an adjuvant treatment to reduce your dosage of corticosteroids. If you have severe complications, you might need additional treatment, such as dialysis, organ transplant. Once GPA is in remission, you'll take a milder medication to maintain remission. These typically include rutamab, milder immunosuppressants such as azacitidine, methotrexate, or mycophenolate. You'll have ongoing testing during treatment to monitor your condition and response to the treatment. The onlook and prognosis. What is the outlook for this condition? GPA is a lifelong condition that requires lifelong care. With treatment, the disease can go into remission and stop causing symptoms, but symptoms can also return and relapse. Hold on just a minute, y'all. My mom's coming in. Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, Mr. MRH. Yeah, it does not cause HIV. Does not cause HIV. Let's clear that rumor up. Apparently, they trying to claim that on her. Um, let's go ahead and make sure we read the truth about this. The outlook for this condition, granulocytosis, with basically GPA is a lifelong condition that requires lifelong care with treatment. This disease. Can y'all hear me now? Y'all, my stuff just tried to go out on me. I didn't realize my stuff had gotten. Just making sure before I continue. Can y'all hear me and everything? Everything good? my screen just yeah, okay, good. Thank y'all, because it like totally blanked for a minute. I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god, y'all. I was about to have a heart attack. But anyway, um, you may have to take medication on and off for the rest of your life to manage relapses. Since these medications suppress your immune system, you'll also have to take extra care to prevent being sick. Can you live a normal life with GPA? With effective treatment, you can live a relatively normal life with GPA. Most people with this chronic disease have periods of remission and relapse, so the course of disease can be ups and downs. What is the life expectancy of someone with GPA? Without treatment, the average life expectancy is 5 months, with less than 50% surviving 1 year. But with treatment, follow up studies show that more than 80% of people are alive at least 8 years later. What is the most common cause of death in GPA? Before treatment, organ failure is the biggest majority risk of GPA. During treatment, you're more at risk of life threatening infections that can take hold when your immune system is suppressed. So that's why I say for Miss Arkansas, um, you know, that you need to make sure you take care of your health and be careful being around sick people and stuff like that. And how can you take care of yourself while having GPA? Take steps to protect yourself from common illnesses while taking immunosuppressants. Make sure to notice any new or unusual symptoms and let your healthcare provider know with them right away. So, this disease pretty much is a very serious disease. It's not nothing to play with, right? But you can live with it and have you can have a very long, healthy life. And you have to take your immunosuppressants, but you are a strong person from having to deal with this disease because those treatments are no joke. They're no joke. And, I think you're an amazing human being. And right now, if you would like, I'm going to drop the link. If you would like to come up and tell people what you go through with your disease and how it affects your daily life, you know what I'm saying? And all the things that you've had to deal with, the misinformation about your disease. Um, it does not say um, that any food or any medication, anything are bad for it. But I would suppose um, that with this, you would want to do everything you can. Okay, Saucy. I just thought that maybe they could understand from your point of view how it feels. Because here's the thing that I'm going to say, it's not cute or funny to laugh about someone's health when that could very well be you and you could have worse. Just like people made fun of a child with mild cerebral palsy and thought it was cute or funny. A protected class, might I add. You know. Hey Don, what's up? How you doing? I just wanted, to make sure that they actually know the real ins and outs of your disorder. And the reason they had to put her on chemo is because when you first get this disease and it's running rampant in your body, they have to shock the immune system, right? Because the immune system is running rampant at that point, right? So they have to shock it real fast. And that's one of the higher ways to do it. Then, after that goes through and she starts to go through what they call remission, they'll put her on smaller doses of immunosuppressants for the rest of your life. We want to say that we love you, Gangsta Sauce, and we are so glad you're making it through it and you're one strong as individual to have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And to be as young as you are, you know, and having to deal with something that's a lifelong condition. I want to say you are one strong woman. Keep your head held high. They can try to make fun of it, but until they deal with something along those lines, they'll never understand. Right? what you have to go through daily, what you have to deal with while you're going through this. We love you, Arkansas. And we're so glad that you did get your diagnosis. That way, you can still be here with us. And we're proud you're here with us. And we really love you a whole lot. You're the best gangsta sauce there ever was and ever will be. Hey, gangsta sauce.
Girl, you're fast.
Hey, I got a name back here. Look, right? And it tells you the
I
person.
know. I know. This is there's something back there that tells you, but some people just don't know how to notice it because they'll leave you back there for a while. Hey, everybody, love y'all.
I've accidentally done that when I be talking to somebody, and let's say I gotta go TT for a minute, and I run, and then I come back, and I'm like, "Oh snap! Didn't mean to leave it back there for like 15 minutes." My bad.
Yeah, I did notice one thing today. I was tripping out. I just figured this out 30 minutes ago. Well, I mean, first of all, I've been telling people I've been having these dizzy. I've been telling the doctors, everybody, anyway, these severe dizzy spells where I done fell out before a couple times. But I went to the other night. I went and I had to grab a hold to the refrigerator to hold my stuff up for a minute, and wait for it to. It started making me shake a little bit, like I was having like a seizure type of shake where your body's jerky. But it didn't last long. But it was just that's what happened. And then at the end of it, I tried to pull the freezer open because I was trying to go into the freezer, and I pulled it like 2 or 3 times and it didn't open, which was crazy because it opened so easily. So I felt like, was my hand just not computing what I'm trying to do here? I mean, I couldn't grasp why I couldn't open the freezer, and then I opened it, but I noticed that, so I started worrying about the neurology, whatever part of it.
The neuropathy part.
Yeah, and that's even the lady when I went and seen the I can't fucking say all these words.
The pulmonary doctor.
The lung doctor. Anyway, they suggested that I get a brain scan or MRI or something to have a brain MRI done. But anyways, this morning, so yesterday, whatever, my little granddaughter, I can't even talk. She was holding up 3 fingers saying 3, So I was like, yeah, and I was like, you're 2, and I held up 2. We did that. Today, while ago, she did it again. I tried to hold up 3 on my right hand. I can't make it. I can't bend my 2 fingers in and hold the 3 fingers up, or the 2. And that kind of freaks me out because like I could do it yesterday. Does that make sense?
Yes, and if I were you, I would go to a neurologist because your condition can affect your nervous system, and that would cause muscle weakness and tinnitus, which would explain the dizzy
The
spells.
dizzy? Yeah.
Yes. Now it may not be the brain. It may be you may actually have to have what they call a nerve conductive test. Now I will say I've had this test. They stick needles like when you have acupuncture, and they run electricity to it to see if your like muscles will jump and react. It does not hurt. Okay, so you won't feel any pain. But it will tell if your nerves are affected. So I would suggest seeing a neurologist because the neurologist deals with the nervous system too, right?
And that's the only part of it that I haven't been, seeing. That's the only specialist I haven't been seeing part of it. It seems like it's going to hit every piece of whatever it says can happen. It looks like it's going to hit every corner of that with me, apparently. And it did it fast too, over a period of months. But it's crazy. It's wild. But yeah, it's really wild. So I'm going to I have to go to a psychiatrist too over it because it's making me mentally crazy as well because I can't deal with it all. Kind of, it's a lot.
Well, imagine going from thinking you're a normal everyday person to having a disease that affects you in the manner that it does now.
Not being able to do anything you could do.
Your brain says, I can do everything I want to do, but your body's saying no. So it does affect you and your mental health because you're trying to, you can do it, right? In your brain, you're like, I can do this. I can do all this, right? But then your body says, no, you can't.
Yeah, it pisses me off too. I mean, it's very discouraging. That's all I know because I don't know how I'm supposed to, I know people do it. I guess I have to. But how are you supposed to carry on life like that? It's just kind of ridiculous. But yeah, people got it worse though, and they still live. I'm just saying it's just really hard to grasp right now. But anyway, I'm move on. And I was reading on the actual website for this specifically. I've seen that some people never go into remission. Like, what the hell does that even mean? What? You know what I mean? Like, and then I don't know when to know. How do I know if this stuff is working? I mean, I'm gonna have to talk to the right people apparently, but all these doctors, each one I talk to them at a time, they need to be more correlated together or something and help me understand because I don't know. I thought I finished the chemo. I mean, I'm sorry, the treatments that I finished them. They don't have any more scheduled right now, but I got to go back 6 months. But anyway, so, and I'm taking 18 pills. I just took 18 pills. And then, so when do I know if this is working? And you know what I'm saying? How do I know if I'm in remission? I don't even know what it's supposed to look like or how I'm going to know right now at this point. And I don't feel like I feel different. I feel like some things are progressing worsely. I don't know. I mean, it's better than I started. Clearly, I was bad at the beginning. I was so bad. Like it said, 5 months. I was feeling every bit of that without the treatment before they figured out what it was. It was taking me out. It was trying to everything. It started with a cold, like they said, the sinuses was crazy. For like 30 days, my nose wouldn't stop. I couldn't stop blowing my nose, blood and all kinds of stuff. And they weren't even treating that. And I was like, "What? Can somebody fix this?" They were looking at the lung nodules because they were all over, all in my chest. But I was like, "But can you fix this? This is driving me crazy." That's what was really killing me. Like not and stop blowing my nose. I mean, I went through stuff. Oh my god, I couldn't even sleep. Anyway, that was insane. But yeah,
I
that's how
will
it started.
say that as someone who deals, it's a different condition, right? So it's different. But when remission happens, you'll start noticing that your symptoms are getting lesser. You may still have some symptoms, right? But a lot of the worser ones will go down. And this condition, because it's an autoimmune, right? It will
Right.
affect different parts of you because the immune system itself is trying to attack healthy cells,
And it
right?
said that every time that it often goes into you relapse with this. I mean, they have it's more frequent than I guess some stuff, and each time that it does does a significant damage when it does come back, and also you can live with it, but it's gonna be um. Anyways, I don't know what I was saying. This was just from from the actual website specifically for that, and I was reading on other people. They closed all of that down, but I was reading in the past people from all stages of it, for years of it, or from just getting it, what they were going through. I was just trying to get some kind of understanding, and it wasn't promising. It wasn't very like it wasn't very. I didn't see anybody talking about. Oh yeah, you know what I mean. Things are whatever, great, or I'm able to whatever. It just was a matter of dealing with your mental health, and people get tired of dealing with you and hearing about it, and you always being whatever. So you lose a lot of friends.
Ostracized.
Yeah, yeah, that type of. That's just anyway. I was trying to get it in so-called remission, like get it taken care of because it was attacking me so severely, so that I could leave and go to another state, maybe transfer, so I have some place to go. Because I can't. On top of that, not being in a house or having a room or anything like with my stuff or anything, that keeps me so stressed out. I mean, how am I supposed to even focus on anything else? It's driving me crazy. I got to do something. Not, I got to find a way to
Also,
make income. I can sit here all day and be fine as long as I'm sitting down. I'm fine. So I need a job that I can sit here and do, but one that'll let me go be off for the doctor every freaking other day. I have
well,
appointments lined up till September for every freaking week till
you have
September.
options, okay? First option is a work from home job if you would like to do that.
Yeah, I do,
One of the
but I gotta find somebody that will let me do that and be off every freaking time I need to go to an appointment, which is never ending. It looks like. I mean, because there's so many specialists I gotta see: the lung doctor, the heart doctor, the rheumatologist, the primary care, the and now possibly a neurologist. I mean, I don't know what that's about, but it's like all the way till September. If you could see the appointments I have and the ones I've already, it's just freaking insane. It's like the entire. That's all I'm gonna do is go to appointments. I guess I don't know. I have a few days here and there. I need something I can do on that type of schedule. And who's gonna do that? I mean, if anybody comes across something like that, please let me know because I need it so bad. I have to have money. I can't live without money. This is crazy.
I will say this, Miss Arkansas. They do have some like work from home jobs, like when you know the call center stuff,
Yeah, I used to
where
do
you
that.
can make your own hours.
Okay.
So let's say you have a doctor's appointment in the mornings or you have doctor's appointments in the afternoons. You can set your hours and come online. I had a friend who did this. He worked
Well,
from
if
home
you
and he
run
did.
across that in any sense of way, please, or you even think you see something like that, y'all let me know because I'm looking for it and I just don't know how to find it. I guess. Please, if anybody runs across something like that, I need it so bad.
DirecTV does it, AT&T, quite a few of the big companies that do that. And they'll even send you like training material. Some of them will send you a computer for
Yeah.
their personal use, for their programming and different stuff it has
Right.
on it. And so a lot of those places do that. I had a friend in Tennessee who actually did that.
Yeah, I did
And
that. I did that for like 3 years. I worked for home for 3 years, or I've done it with a couple of different companies. So I have the equipment, I have anything I need to do that. I just need the people. I need to find it. It's hard to find them. It's easier when people were, during the vid, a lot of work from
yeah,
home stuff. But finding it now, I don't know if y'all. I'm seriously. I mean, I'm gonna keep trying. But if y'all run across something, anybody, hit me up. Let me know, please. Because how am I gonna go into a job? Yeah, I'm gonna need all these days off the top. Like they're gonna hire me. Why would they? You know what I'm saying?
well, see, that's where I will say, if you ever had to, do not ever feel ashamed if you ever had to go on disability because of this disorder, because this is a lifelong disorder, and it's not something you should ever feel ashamed about or be shamed about. And because of you having, if it gets worse, right? We're hoping it doesn't. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed, knock on some wood. I'm praying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, don't ever let anybody make you feel shame about that, because you have paid into the system, and
Yeah,
you
I have.
are dealing with something that is considered a life-threatening disability.
Yeah, but it takes about 2 years for you to even think about getting that. Eventually, it might pay out, but you got to go through that. It'll take a while for that, probably most likely. And I mean, I'm trying. I did try. Guess what? The website didn't work for
You
two
have
days.
your best bet is to look in your area for a
Go,
lawyer.
go. Oh yeah,
And a lot of them will take it pro bono and will tell you if you have a case or not, because
yeah,
they only get paid if you get paid.
right. I used to work for for the legal aid for Arkansas, where they worked a lot. They did a lot of when you get denied for disability, then they would go do the appeal, to get it for you.
You just have to file your first time, and then after that, when you get that denial, or if you don't even have to file out the first time. A lot of people think you do, but technically you don't. You can go straight to a lawyer for that. That is some of your best ways to do that, especially with what you have going on right now. And no matter if they try their damnedest to make you look bad for that, that's bullshit. If they had to deal with you have to deal with every day, they would change their opinion based on it. But
And that's the
because
thing. There's not a lot of people that have a knowledge of what. I don't even think my doctors fully have knowledge because it's 10 out of 1 million people have this. So
yeah,
not a lot. They don't have a lot of people they're dealing with this particular thing. That's unfortunate because nobody knows about it. You know what I mean? If that makes
it's a
sense.
very
But
rare autoimmune disorder. It's very rare. You're
that's
very rare with
frustrating me
it.
too because I think we're all learning together. To be honest. Well, I mean, I know they have some knowledge. Clearly, they're doctors, but I mean, I don't think that he's got any other patients specifically with this. You know what I mean? Clearly, 10 out of 1 million. So yeah. But anyway, it's a process. But yeah, I mean, I would like to give people knowledge so they would know because it took us a while to figure it out. But I don't think that probably most people would have to do it. Not only that, I used to have, I mean, I had whatever tuberculosis that wasn't inactive, and I did, the like a 9 months worth of treatment or stuff that you take at the health department every for 9 months to make sure it don't become active or something, yada yada. Now they're worried about because they're suppressing my immune system that could become active again, and that's freaking not something I want. You know what I mean? Hopefully
Yeah,
it
it's
don't.
not something we're gonna hopefully it doesn't. We're gonna have our fingers crossed, because once you get an exposed to TB,
Right.
tuberculosis, it can come back at any time. They do that little stick test or whatnot to do
Mhm.
it, because anybody can be exposed to that. My ex was exposed to that because he worked at a specific plant, and people in that plant came up with it, and guess what? Everybody was exposed, so he had
Yeah,
to
I
have
didn't.
a
I didn't
test.
know until I started working for the hospital, and you got to take the test, and that's when I found out that I had inactive. I didn't know there was such thing as inactive. I thought once you got tuberculosis, I thought, oh, you got to be quarantined and stuff. I don't know anything
No,
about.
see, that's the thing. People can contract it, and you don't, and sometimes you won't even know, like, because you got your diagnosis after that, you can't even probably pinpoint where.
Yeah,
You know,
I can't. You know what I did? I assumed it was probably from prison. I would assume that's what I would think.
a
You know
lot
what
of
I mean?
people did get that from their time in jail or whatever, because it ran rampant in the system at one time. and it's super easy to contract and not even know you have because it can go
Yeah.
inactive.
Yeah.
Um, and it can be spread super easy.
Right.
Um, in which case that actually could have been a reason why this disease that you actually have
There's
um
no telling, but
came.
I'm gonna freak out if it does affect my like motor skills or something, like not being able to make. I'm tripping out about this. Can't form my hand to make this three. This pisses me off. I mean, this is worrying me, but I ain't gonna stress. But my mom, she had MS and she died from it eventually. But it started in her one of her hand, left hand or right hand. I think it was her left hand. Like she lost the ability to do stuff with her left hand, and it slowly like went up one arm, and then I mean over years and years, and eventually she couldn't walk, she couldn't do anything. You know, you had to change her, all kinds of stuff. She was in a wheelchair, but that was an autoimmune disease. But this doesn't say anything about being making you you know, messing with you like that. But now I'm thinking something about it's something in my nerve, you know, with my nerves or something. I don't know what it is, but I can't make. Everybody else can, right? I don't know why I'm asking this. You literally can hold up the number three with your hand, right? In your right hand.
Occasionally
I can do it. I
because
did it yesterday, and I can do it with my left hand, but I can't do it for nothing in the world with my right hand right now, and it's pissing me off. It's freaking me out a little bit.
when my I have a neck condition and a back condition, right? And when those nerves go to pinching in my neck or my back, it'll do that to me. And it when those nerves and it's crazy, people don't think about your nervous system actually affecting your motor skills, and it does.
Yes.
Um, my grandfather, if you don't know this, Arkansas, my grandfather had primary progressive MS. He was diagnosed, and 2 years later, he passed away. Because a
Damn,
lot of
that
people
was
don't
quick.
know the biggest part of it affects your muscular system, right?
Yeah,
And a
right.
lot of people don't know what's the biggest muscle in your body and the most important besides your brain, your heart.
Spine. Oh, heart. I'm stupid.
He passed away from a massive heart attack because his heart was extremely affected.
Yeah.
And so my I didn't get to meet my grandfather. He passed away before I was ever
Oh,
born. He died when my dad wasn't but 15 years old.
yeah. My mom had it in her spine, and then my sister's mother-in-law, she had it in her brain. They both had it. They were both, you know, completely disabled, and they both ended up dying from it eventually. But I mean, it was over. It started when my mom was 30, and then she passed. You know, whatever. So she had it
Some
for about
people have
20 years
uh,
maybe before she passed. I'm sure. So
there's two different forms of MS. There's primary progressive, and then there's secondary relapse. There's actually another one. Basically, it relapse and comes back, relapse comes back, relapse comes back kind of situation. And then some people end up getting the third kind, which it goes from relapse remission to progressive, right?
because my friend
Um,
Marissa, she said she has MS. I don't know, but I mean, I can't. I don't know how. It don't. It's not right now affecting her like my mom did, like where you can't use your, you know, hands and feet and stuff like that. They probably got better treatment these days, I guess. I don't know. Either way, it's autoimmune disease, and it. I'm like, I don't want this to start affecting me. Please don't let that happen. It's already
well,
took my eyesight like tremendously. It
I
it that scared me. I don't want to go blind. You know what I mean? Like
but
I'm like, this is some bullshit. It's just attacking everything.
but
Anyway,
where
it's gonna get better. I know it's got to. Surely, I wish I could tell when, but I wish it would hurry up. I just
it's
need to
gonna
get my.
take time. You have to. I know you don't want to wait
No, I
on the
don't. It's not that.
medications.
It's not that. But I mean, I need to. I mean, God, dang it! I just want to get out of here. I want to go somewhere where I have a room to live or something, and I can't leave because I got all these dang appointments everywhere, like nonstop, never ending. I don't know. I just gotta get. I don't know. It's frustrating, and I know y'all are tired of hearing about it. I swear to God, I'm tired of talking about it. I'm just like I'm so frustrated. I've got to something's got to give. I got to do something different. I don't know something. I got to figure this out. I got to figure out how to maintain, make money, do stuff like that, and continue to be able to live. You know. And I don't know what. I'm overwhelmed. Like I just don't know where to.
Where to begin
I
because
don't. I'm overwhelmed. I swear. I'm just freaking overwhelmed.
you got to think you went from being right like in your mind perfectly healthy and normal to something now that you're having to deal with that you are not used to. It's something that you're like, what the crap? And your mind says you can do whatever you want to do, but your body and your health is telling you no, set the heck down. If I were you, and this is just my personal thought process, I know it will be harder to live in some ways but not so much. I would go and I would either do one or two things. If you want a regular job, I would go for something that you can set your own hours, or I would file for my disability because what you have is not something to play with. You're going to be, for the rest of your life seeing this doctor, that doctor, this next, and then that one, this one, and that one, and
Yeah.
dealing with health conditions that are going to come up and go away and come up and go away. And so for
Yeah, I'm
one
gonna have
minute,
to go to the office though because the site's been not working. The site's been not working so ever since. Well, I ain't gonna say ever since. I ain't gonna say that and make nobody mad, but anyway, the site's not working. They won't let me go past a certain part, and I'm gonna have to go to the office, I guess, because it just ain't work. It won't work. It won't. I don't know what's going on with it. I've seen that it's been down, had multiple problems ever since something. Anyway, but moving on from that, I am gonna. I mean, I will do that for sure. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm not gonna sit here and burden my dang family like any more than I already have. Well, it's stressing me out being here. I mean, I gotta eventually get out of here. I can't do it. But also, the other thing is, girl, I'm coming. See this little turret right here? She keeps me active, but I really can't. I don't think I can do a job where I'm standing up. I mean, I know I can't actually. I can't. I won't be able to. I can't do stuff here. So unfortunately,
well, also please make sure that you don't stress yourself too much because with autoimmune disorders, stress is really bad. Really, really bad. It makes it worse. So
I don't know what a life without stress looks like. I can't even tell you. I wouldn't never be able to tell you. Yeah, thank you, baby. Thank you, sweetie. I love her. She's the reason I'm still here.
still fighting because
She's
she's
3.
amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Another thing, my
um,
son came down here. He came down to help me, and he's been helping me this whole time since he's been here. Now he's got a ticket to go back to Wisconsin now, and that's gonna be interesting because like he helps me with her during the day and all this stuff. What, baby? You broke it? Oh my goodness! So he's going back to Wisconsin now. So that's scary to me too. But anyway,
you got this. You're stronger than people think.
I,
And CFM Queen says the cortisol being released in your system must be awful as well, Arkansas. And if it's okay with your doctors, she says that medi- uh, with your medications, you can take vitamin D to help with the effects of cortisol. So maybe ask, stress releases cortisol in the body, take vitamin D to help. So I would ask your doctors if it's okay to take vitamin D.
all right. More pills to add to the 18. I was playing. Sorry. No, it's not funny. It's not funny, but it's true. Like I'm wondering, am I going to just be taking this much medicine the rest of my life too? Just dang. And the medicine I'm taking that specifically for this, they have to specially send me because my insurance won't approve it, hasn't approved it. So they're giving me like it's coming from straight from them because they won't approve it. I don't know. It's something that was made specifically for this specific whatever you call it. Anyway, so they have to ship it to me every time to make, and I have to take 3 a day. I mean, 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening. That's a lot of those, but yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like, and all the doctors themselves are probably they are great, but they are not working. I mean, I'm not saying they're not working together. Let me correct myself. They're not working with me together. Like I need one person to speak with and to talk to me about this plan that talks to all of them or something. I need somebody to be my liaison, whatever. I don't know because I'm like, which one do I talk to about what? I don't know. Like, which one's gonna help me with this? I go to see them all, and then it's like I keep saying this, and nobody's doing. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what the outcome's supposed to be exactly. We're just doing it, and we're just running through it. And I don't know. I don't even know what's happening right now, to be honest. Like I finished the silly rabbit. I don't know if the treatment's causing problems. I don't know if all these pills are causing problems. I don't know if the disease is causing the problem. I don't know if I'm getting better. I don't know what I'm doing. Girl, if you don't hush. Silly rabbit. Say hey.
Super adorable. Hi.
Say hey, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. Nee. No, not Nene. Yeah, that's Nene. That's me. But I say hey. Hey, Miss Charlie.
Oh my goodness.
Hey. Hey. Okay. Hey,
Nene. Her and the puppy dog are talking at the same time, saying, "Hey."
Listen, he's jealous of her. He can't. He wants attention. He's so jealous of her. Will you hush, Jack?
He's wanting that attention so bad.
He does. He can't stand it when we talk. I'm telling you, he's Jack. Hush. He's just down there, just going. All right, yeah. I'm sorry. We ain't gonna make this about me because I've done this on every channel there is. I'm sorry. For real, y'all. I'm sorry, but I do appreciate y'all letting me talk and talking about it. Thank you.
Oh
But it
no,
does
this
not.
is
It
supposed
does
to
not
be.
cause. Does not cause HIV. Doctor. Stupid hoes.
This is supposed to be about you, love. This was intentionally, to talk about it and to give people information so they understand and can know what you go through on a daily basis because obviously not everybody knows about this condition because it's a rare condition and to get an introspect on what you have to deal with.
Yeah, but thank goodness, almost all these people have contact with me outside here, and they've been so supportive, and they know all about. Thank you for all these people. I would not have been made it without them. I swear. The YouTube people is all I got. You know what I mean? Besides my immediate people right here, my son and daughter, and of course my sister and brother. But that little punk just left me in the wind. Anyway, and he since then had an issue and wanted to try to ask me where what my daughter's address is so he can come over here because he was having an issue where he was at. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But I'm nice and that's what I do. I still was trying to be helpful, but screw him. I'm mad. I'm like, why don't you just come up? Why don't we just get a place instead of you living with a stranger? Was it that bad? You don't live with me? You'd rather live with a stranger? It makes no sense. We got into a big ordeal, and we got into really bad because he thought I was. You're not gonna blame this on me. Well, I mean, the truth is, I'm just telling you the truth. That's what it is. I ain't blaming you. Like you bounced on us, you bailed out on us. Like, what the hell? Anyways, and then he apologized later, very shortly, but he was not gonna talk to me anymore. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because he panicked, he bailed out. He just left us right at the end. We had because he thought I wasn't doing enough to get us. He started panicking. But we got approved the exact same day. He went and signed a lease with some other stranger online. We got approved for the houses that we've been waiting on because it was a 30-day notice. We didn't have a lot of time, and you can't make people go any faster than they go. Even though I tried, you know what I mean. So we got approved for two different places. I mean, for multiple houses. I mean, once the same exact day, and then he had the money for the deposits and the rent, so I couldn't get in them. Couldn't do anything, and he knew that. But anyway, he bounced on me and left me hanging. And he also didn't help us move anything. We had a whole house to move in 2 days. It was insanity, and I was sick, doing my treatments and stuff, and he just left us, and we had to do it by ourselves. Anyway, now it's time for the storage units to be paid again. $200 for 3 storage units every month, which I need to not pay, but I have to pay or lose everything. So it's annoying. I need to get in the house. Dang it. And in Little Rock, you can't even apply for HUD or anything until they only have an open, like a time frame that only they open it up where you can apply. And then there's the waiting list and stuff. But you can't even like put in an application except for during certain time periods, which is insane. It's weird to me. It wasn't like that way back in the day when I was like in a little town. You could apply whenever you wanted to. You just have to be on a waiting list. But you can't even do that here. Little Rock is weird. They'll say, "Oh, we got assistance for like gas." The news will report it on my phone. Click on this link, and then it'll take you nowhere, and you can't find it on their site or anything. Like they'll say it's out there. I think they be keeping money. I think they keep the funds or something. I swear I do. Like the housing assistance the federal government was giving people during the bid. I was working for Missouri. We gave out so much money for so long, for like over a year, clearly over a year. We kept giving out. We were just giving money for rental assistance. But Little Rock, they talked about they were out of money immediately. Like what? I couldn't even get assistance. It was crazy. Are you still there? I feel like you done left.
No, baby girl, I'm still
Okay,
here.
okay. All right.
I was just trying to handle something for my old people.
You're fine. I'll just make sure I didn't talk you right off the ledge. I'm just playing. I'm joking. Hey, Tanya,
No,
doctor.
Little Rock is different, and Arkansas is different than Mississippi on certain things, and it's crazy how they do those things, when people really are in need of help and need things. Hey,
I
Tainted.
know people say you can get help this and that, but go on their sites and try to figure out how to find it. Go out and see it, how easy it ain't, because they or the stipulations that come with it or whatever. Like it's yeah, it's supposed to be out there, but is it out there really? I don't know. It's hard to figure it out. But anyway, Jax, you don't have to have attention all the time, little turd. He's such a ham. Y'all better get your dog. This is the community's dog because they like him and I don't. I'm just like, I'm just. I do like him. He's just a punk. 11:11, make a wish. It's 10:11 here, but hey, we'll take it. I wish I was an Oscar Mayer winner. And anyways, yeah, I seen that silly. Who do you know them people that they was talking to on the recording? Is that somebody you know?
Um, Somebody that I don't speak to and don't like, and a
Right,
lot of that was misinformation.
right. I mean,
Um,
clearly, I'm sure, but just for them to say the dumb shit they said, like what?
yeah, it's crazy. I haven't been a lot of the stuff they even said, a lot of it was messed up and not real. Um,
Yeah,
like
I
if
mean,
a dog, if let's say I like the dog situation, 4 months, and I had did that right, wouldn't the dog be passed away?
yeah, they're crazy. I mean, all of it is ludicrous, and for
It
people to
is
sit up and listen to it and go along with it is just ludicrous too.
also it has to do with the fact that the people are,
Yeah,
not
they did
very well
exactly,
respected, and let's
exactly
just say drugs are involved.
right. You'll have that. They'll find those type whoever will say something that's interesting and show worthy. And anything
uh
that if anything said positive about you, they'll cut that part out, or they won't air that. I promise.
Well, that I will promise you that is why probably a lot of the things that they did find they won't show.
Yeah.
Because most of my life is positive.
Right.
Um I haven't known that person for 30 years. I'm only 37.
Right.
I lived most of my life in a place called Monroe County, Mississippi, all the way up until I was 14 or 15 years old. So there's no possible way I could know them for 30 years.
Right.
They didn't
Right.
move into the neighborhood until many, 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 many years later. So there's a lot of things that, was said that was falsities.
I
And
mean, I already know you ain't got to tell me nothing, honey, baby. You know, I was just what I was really just wondering. Do you know who they are? So you know who's saying shit like that about you, basically, for them to be saying shit
oh,
like
I
that.
know that's the same man who shot my cat.
Oh, damn. That's horrible.
Because I did have outdoor cats. I
Right.
rescued them from being put down in a home. I rescued
Right.
him, and because my cat ran over there, he shot him.
Sorry, mother crackers.
So yeah,
Oh
they
yeah,
can
and
try to say what they want, but I don't
I
care.
also I rewatched. I was watching a replay of your show yesterday. I think I missed it because I think I missed it, didn't I? Anyways, was it yesterday? Anyway, I noticed that you had G2K came on and you promoted his book. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That's my friend.
Oh, I love me some G2K. He is awesome. And
Me
Sunday we're
too.
supposed to do in the afternoon time, because during the morning I do my Geek and God Day. We're supposed to be
Right.
doing karaoke, and I can't wait for that. I'm gonna sing my
Well,
little
yeah.
heart out.
Yeah, you're gonna come over. Cool.
Yeah, you gonna do it too, girl. We
I
got that
mean,
karaoke.
I'll be there.
You're like, I ain't singing no. I be singing in the
I can
audience.
sing now. I know how to stay on rhythm and in tune and all that, but I just don't have the. I don't do it online. No, I don't do it.
But
I
girl,
don't do it.
us Southerners can sing. We all can. It's a thing. We
I'm
grew
just,
up in the
I'm so
churches and
self conscious.
shit.
I won't go to a club and dance or nothing because I'm so self conscious. I don't know why I'm stupid. I say that, but how was I stripping? I have no idea how that
We're
came
all
about.
strippers, didn't you know? We're
But I had so much
strippers.
fun when I was doing that. I wish I could do that again. Shit, it was great.
Shoot, if I'd have, I'm gonna say this: if half of us had did what they said we did, we would not be having any issues in life. We'd be rich as shit. I'm just saying. Shit. A lot of the stuff they gonna lie about, it's gonna be hilarious. But I'm staying quiet for a reason.
If only I had all the penis they said I get. I'm just
I know, right? Oh my god, we hoes
I'm
in
going.
different
I'm doing
area
a world
codes.
tour. I'm doing a world tour of penises. No, I'm just playing. Sorry.
Yo, vagina all over the world.
Hey, I was doing a YouTube world tour, and that manifested, and I was enjoying it. I mean, and everybody was hating on me for it, but I don't care. I ain't never been out of Arkansas much and seen nothing. I was ready, but this brought me to a screeching halt, clearly. But hey, I got a passport and everything. I'm still ready. But whenever I get this, if I can get this in remission, I don't know. But
Don't
I don't
make me
know.
come all the way to Arkansas, cause see, here's the
Girl, you
thing.
ain't
I
far.
ain't too far.
You talking about all the way.
Shoot.
You closest to me than anybody here. Ain't nobody close to me around here that I talk to online. I mean, nobody. But
Don't make me, cause I will see. I be driving all the way to New York. Here
I
to
hate
Arkansas
driving.
ain't
I
that
can't
hard.
do it. I can't drive like that. Man, I went drove to Texas to meet Marissa, And on the way back, I had to stop 3 times just to get home because I fall asleep. I don't know why. The lines make me focusing on. I don't know why I do it. It's not like
It
I'm
gets
tired.
so boring after a while.
I
It
guess, but
does.
3 times I had to pull over because I was literally falling asleep, and that was annoying. I hate driving. I don't like driving long periods of time. But then again, I can't ride with people either because I don't trust them.
So you're like, do I
I'm
drive
scared.
this whole way myself and be sleepy or, not go at all because I'm not riding with you. I don't
No,
trust your ass.
normally it'd be just let's just fly. It's easier. Let's go. It's probably cheaper these days with way gas and stuff like that is. Like hell, probably cheaper to fly. But all these planes, all these things, I guess it's maybe some people say it's always been like this. We're just seeing it more because they're putting it on the new. I don't know, but a lot of plane stuff been happening lately, way more than normal to me. Seem like anyway. But I ain't scared. Let's go. Might as well. I wish I could just get this in remission so I can get out of here. Not really.
Miss
I don't want to leave my daughter, granddaughter.
Miss Yolanda says that the Department of Aging and the Department of Health and Human Services can help you fill out your paperwork to apply for SSDI or SSI. Their computer system is directly linked to the SSA network.
Girl, I know I used to work for them too. I used to do all this myself. I mean, I literally know how to do it, but the site wouldn't work. But on top of that, the Department of Human Services around here is trash. They every time I apply, they I'm scared because I don't want to mess with my insurance. I don't want to fuck that up. If I then I'll be really screwed. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go to an actual place because the online services, the site is something's happening. Everybody, well, let me just say this: they say ever since Trump got in office, the site been fucked up. I'm just saying.
Well, he did fire a lot of people, so maybe the person who was working in the room with all the what do they call those? The where they have all the little tower things that do it all. I
Yeah,
f-
yeah.
those things. Maybe there ain't a person back there trying to help fix shit no more.
It could be, it could be. But see, and another thing, the reason I need to do all this stuff and don't get done because we got little mama here because I'm staying here, so we watch her while mama's at work, and she works at the Capitol, and they're doing like they're in session right now, so she got off at like 11 something last night. She went to work at 7:30 and got off at 11. She can't leave while they're doing that. She has to run the bills and stuff back, all this type of shit, whatever. So she's been working like a lot during this session. So we're so in this little heifer, she's 2, so she's just like runs from one room to another, just grabbing shit, just do anything she can get into. She got to be watched constantly. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, when they're that age, you
So she
know,
keeps me on my toes, and I don't get nothing done basically besides chasing after her. But yeah, you drove to Arkansas this past weekend. Oh damn! Don't nobody come here. I don't know why anybody would come. I mean, nobody ever comes here. I don't know anybody close to me at all. I wish I did. I like meeting people in person. I get talking online for so long. After so long, you like to put a face. You know what I mean? You need to have some real interaction with people, which might not be safe, but hey, who cares? Let's go. I have met
um,
some.
I was just gonna give an update. Miss Justice's father is in the cardiac unit or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And but he's doing okay right now. He
That's
had a
good.
valve problem or whatnot, so just make sure y'all keep him in
Yes.
the prayers for right now for Miss Justice, and
Yes.
that her father continues to get better because heart problems are no,
Right.
they're not to play with. So y'all please keep Miss Justice and her father and family in your prayers and whatnot, you know. So we're gonna keep praying that, he's doing well and that he continues to do well. And everything else. So Miss Justice, if you catch this replay or anything, um, you know, we're gonna make sure that we keep him in our prayers. So he's you know okay, but still have him to be under doctor's care, right? Yeah, K-Fam does storm chasing.
Oh, that's what oh my God. I love it. You need to come through next time you come through. Let's meet up. I was like, I didn't know that. I love that. That's my jam. If y'all didn't already know that, I think y'all do. I've been wanting to go chase storm myself. So I ain't gonna do it, but I like to go outside during the storm and put myself out there in the middle of it like a lunatic.
I'm gonna share KFam's channel again.
Yeah, please do.
Because they're also going to start posting videos. They've posted some, but they're going to post more showing that. So if you enjoy stuff like that, this would be the person to follow.
Oh, I love it.
Um,
I watch it all the time.
they already have one video, showing some of the storms and stuff like that as they were driving through. So, just keep a lookout and you get to see more of that type of content because around here we like to actually support others.
And me too. I'm the same way. Can you put it in the back chat by chance where I can click it or no?
Yes, yes, yes. I got you, girl. I
Thank
got
you.
you.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
What's up, Watcher? How you doing?
Hey, Watcher Chris. Um, Thank you, love. Appreciate it. I definitely will follow this channel for sure.
And anybody who, and I'm doing this because Miss Arkansas is not doing this. So please do not put this jacket on her back. I am the one doing this. If you would like to donate to Miss Arkansas, her cash app is Arkansas 99. Arkansas 99. If you feel it
Girl,
in your
no.
heart,
Nope.
don't you shut up, shut up. No, no, no. If you feel it in your heart to make any donations, please do so to Miss Arkansas. Thank you. And she gonna try to cuss me
Yeah,
out, but I'm gonna tell her anyway. I'm gonna get her anyway. Because here's the thing, I'm gonna say this, Miss Arkansas. I have I've dealt with many different kind of things and with my son having mild cerebral palsy and they're making fun of his braces and all that stuff on his legs.
well,
My
that's
son
ridiculous, man.
graduated
They don't have no.
early. What they don't know, he graduated early because my son was homeschooled. Because where I live, you don't want to have a child with special needs that has a physical disability because they'll try to put them in special
Oh yeah,
education
they
when
said
they're
they
not
were going to call
stupid.
and see if your son was in school this morning. I forgot. Did you hear that part?
That they'll try to put a special needs kid who has a physical disability in special needs classes, and they don't around here. I don't know if they do the same around you in different places. They don't want to have to deal with with a child with a physical disability.
Well, you did hear them say they were going to call this morning, right? That they was going to call somewhere to see if your kid was enrolled in school or some shit like that. And
Didn't
they
hear
will do that type of shit.
Didn't hear
Just
it,
for the
but I will
record.
say if they mess with a disabled child who is on the protected persons list, I will do what I have to do legally. I've already spoken to my lawyer.
Absolutely.
Um,
Please.
and so if you mess with a child with a disability, understand that they have and they are, a protected class. And, I will make sure that I do take out criminal charges.
Yeah, they were saying it might be another JD Jenny case, and she got her kid got taken away from her after they interfered, and she was so depressed about it. For she's just
My
not been.
child's almost 18 years old. Do they
Well,
not know
no, I'm
that?
just saying, like they don't have any boundaries, any limits. You know what I'm saying?
My child's almost 18 years old at this point. There's only like 6 months from 18.
Right. Well, that's good, but still, just be aware of the idiots. That's all I was saying. It's not nothing. It's not just talking out the ass. It's dumb shit they do. So therefore, just an example.
I
Another
kind of hope
example.
they make that false report so it adds one more thing
Right.
to my my documentation to show stalking, harassing, bullying, and doxing, because that gives me grounds for it's called it's a stalking. It's a specific. It's
Yeah, but although there's not a lot of protection for adults when it comes to this, to be honest, or they don't, not a law for agencies really deal with it. When it comes to, there's federally protected statuses, which would be the disabled and anything about your religion or your sexual preferences or all that type of stuff. So you'll be protected federally for sure. There's laws that will protect you on that. So don't play. That's all I'm saying. Play if
it
you want to.
says stalking charges and involve behaviors where an individual intentionally or repeatedly follows, harasses, or threatens another person, causing them to feel for fear. Stalking
Yep.
can be classified as a felony or a misdemeanor, with the penalties varying by state. For example, in California, violating a protective order can lead to a minimum prison sentence of 1 year. Actions and leading to charges. Stalking charges can arise from various actions, including leaving threatening messages, inappropriate use of social media, or
Yep.
monitoring a person's communications. Federal law. Under federal law, stalking is also addressed, and penalties can include imprisonment, especially if the victim is a minor.
Yep.
Civil liberties. In addition to criminal penalties, victims may also pursue civil lawsuits for damages related to stalking. For more detailed information, you may refer to specific laws in your jurisdiction.
Yep.
Um, Criminal stalking of a child is a felony, and it doesn't matter what state you're
I
in.
know, but guess what? That's why he stays hiding, because you got to be able to find him to serve him to get him into court.
Technically, if it's a criminal charge, it's out of your hands once you hand it over, because especially if it involves a minor
Hmm.
or a person in a protected class, because then the state takes it over,
Right. And then,
and
yeah,
they'll
they'll have
issue
it, but
a
they'll have
warrant.
it. That's right. And then if he gets pulled over or if they run across him, they can get him. But if they don't, though, then he's just going to not be got. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Now, if he gets a traffic infraction, traffic stop,
Right. Right.
any of those things, then yes, there will be a warrant.
Right on.
Also, if in case they don't know, you can also, when you do the civil case, you can also, serve someone's last known address. You don't have to have their current, and because of a business that was in someone's name, you can absolutely serve that business, and they do not have to sign. If they don't sign, you can serve them three different ways and still move forward in the case.
Well, that's what I thought too. And I looked it up, and I looked extensively into it because I know you can even do stuff like if you can't find them, put stuff in the paper for so long and all that shit too,
Hmm.
or leave it on the door. I mean, leave it at a certain residence. But that didn't seem to apply in this situation. Well, I might be wrong, but maybe it's different for some states because I was deeply trying to figure out, anyway. But whatever. Well, hopefully somebody figures that shit out. Hopefully, one day.
Well,
Because
I'm
we've been on this for a while and ain't nothing happened. So there's that. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't understand what the problem is then.
well,
But
I will say,
I extensively researched it, and it seems like that's the case that you have to be able to find them certain for something to happen. But anyway,
I am in contact with, that's why I'm keeping my mouth shut. There's certain things that I'm doing, with a lawyer,
yeah, don't
who
talk
has
about
told
health.
me, yeah, so I'm doing what I'm doing legally,
Right,
and
and
I
that's
hope
good.
they
Don't talk
know.
about it. Be about it. Don't talk about it. Be
Mhm.
about it. You know what I mean? Let's go. So yeah, damn, my computer just sounded like it went to overdrive. If that, can you hear the fan? Should I mute? Because I
I
think it's loud.
swear with my computer, like, for some reason, my fans are working fine on my computer, but sometimes occasionally it makes this stupid sound and it
Yeah,
totally gets on my nerves. And I'm like, and it does it like at the weirdest time. Like you're sitting there trying to go to sleep and all of a sudden it starts making noise. You're like, because I listen to stories when I go to sleep,
yeah,
like Lighthouse Horror and stuff like that.
yeah.
And all of a sudden at like 3 o'clock in the morning, the fans just want to kick on and do the weird noise sometimes.
I feel like. Did you just say White House horrors?
Lighthouse.
Okay,
Girl, you
horrors.
know we country and sometimes words be sounding the
I
same.
know. I'm just joking. I'm just like. So yeah, if anybody comes to Arkansas, hit me up. Let's meet up. Let's do lunch.
And the fact that the person already has a stalking charge for a child,
Oh,
not going to look good.
uh-uh.
Stalking children is illegal.
Oh yeah, for sure. When it comes to kids, you need to back the fuck up.
So, yeah, but that's all I'm going to say about that because I'm keeping my mouth shut for a reason.
That's right, and that's the way you should do it, baby. So what's up with everybody else? Y'all doing okay out there? We pray for all y'all. I know everybody got their own stuff going on the side.
Oh,
I hope your kids good. I mean, hope y'all. I hope everything turns out good there. I hope everything turns out good with um. God, why can't you never think of a father? Justice, father. Jeez.
Yeah,
Hey, did
Miss
what you call it go away finally? I don't want to bring up some old stuff, but did what you call it? I ain't heard nothing else about Jo or whatever. Did she finally
I
leave
ain't
it?
heard nothing about that. I have no
That's good.
idea.
That's
So,
good.
yeah, it's a lot of lurking today, Watcher. It's a lot of lurking.
Hmm,
What's hilarious is if you look at participation over the time of my life, I've had more participation than others have, and more
true.
participants, at a different times in the live and stuff. And it's kind of funny. But I will say this: anybody who participates in situations of criminal stalking will also be added. Just saying that criminal stalking is a charge, and it can be a federal crime, especially if you do it over the internet and all those nice, lovely things.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm so glad to learn more about your disorder, Miss Arkansas, because obviously it is something that I've not really heard of, right? It's not
Right.
something that you would know about if you didn't know somebody who actually has
For
it
sure.
or
You should have seen what I was trying to figure out what it was. They did a test for everything in God's creation, things you would never even think. They tested so many things, and everything kept coming back negative. I was like, what the hell is it? Something is something. They did a biopsy on the lungs, all kinds of stuff. I mean, we could not figure it out for for a while. The test that actually finally they figured it out with the ANCA that they were talking, they read about, whatever that is, that one thing. That's what came back and showed that I had it finally. And I was so happy and so excited that they figured out that they found it. But then once I realized what it wasn't so exciting anymore. But still, because I thought like once they figured out they can treat it, we can take care of it. That's not so much. I mean, clearly they can, but not necessarily make it better for sure. I mean, stop it or anything, make it go away. So, but either way, I was thankful they finally figured out what it was because it was making me mentally insane too. And I would go to the doctor for so many different things. They were like, it's anxiety cause. I was like, if one more doctor tells me something about anxiety, I'm gonna flip out. Anxiety ain't giving me no damn heart attack. What the hell? I didn't wake up out of my sleep with the anxiety so bad that I was having a heart attack. What the hell? Man, I ain't had no heart problems before this, nothing. And then they said it wasn't even a heart attack, but the whatever that T word is, troponin, I don't know how the hell you say it, that tells you that you've had a heart attack in your bloodstream. The levels are like 14 or 6 or so. I forgot what it was. That's normal, and mine was 2,000 something. Like, so yeah, something was happening. Whatever it was, stress on my heart. Anyways, they didn't know what it was, so they kept thinking. I think some of them thought I was tripping and crazy at first. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I'm gonna say this with the test that you've had, they're like, oh yeah, something is happening here. We got to figure this out. And sometimes, like when you go to doctors, like their first reaction is, oh, you're a pain sicker, oh, you're this, oh, you're that, and
Yeah,
then they start really looking, and they're like, oh no, you're not. You're really telling the god honest
yeah,
truth.
yeah. I had one experience when I went without my son to the doctor, like, cause he was going to all the visits with me, and it was the emergency room. Ambulance had to take me that time, and so he wasn't there. And when I came in, I was, like having such a heart. I mean, my chest breathing was so hurting so bad to breathe that I couldn't calm down. They were like telling me I got to calm down because they were trying to do an EKG or something. Like, I'm like, I mean, it was impossible for me to calm down. It hurt every time I breathed. You know what I mean? So they were frustrated with me, and they started being just awful to me. They were so mean to me that whole fucking time I was there. They thought I was tripping, because they weren't aware of it. I kept telling them, "Can you just read my chart? This is the hospital I come to. Like, read, you'll see what it is." You know what I mean? But they were ignoring me the whole night. I was crying and screaming for help. Like, they just left me in there and wouldn't even talk to me. I was like, I called my sister. She came all the way from out of town. I was like, please come don't leave me up here. They're going to let me just die. They were just not, they would not even talk to me. They were younger, and I think they were, I don't know. They were young. Anyway, this one person was arguing me. I was like, if you could get him out of here, you want me to calm down? Could you like have him go away and stop arguing with me? That's like the worst thing to do. They was like, he's the attending. I was like, oh my God, never mind. Like, I'm screwed. Like, why would you be sitting up here? Like, you don't talk to patients like that and treat them that way. Like, how am I supposed to calm down when you're talking shit to me? Like, what? I was like, who does that? That's when I said I need to get out of here because that was the way you don't do that. You gotta have patience and tolerance to be dealing with people first of all. And you can't just talk to them like that if you're the attending position. I mean, whatever you are, whatever. Are you kidding
Some
me?
some doctors have no bedside manner, and
Well,
I will say
you know,
this.
it's a school. It's a school, so I'm sure he's new. I mean, they were young, so he probably hasn't learned those few details yet, or don't have it in him. Maybe he won't. I don't know. He needs to get it though, because it was
I
terrible.
had one who I told, specifically they were trying to put me on, blood pressure medication, right? And he put me on this one, and he put me at a high milligram. Why he did that, I don't know, knowing I was just barely hypertensive, right? Barely.
Right, right,
And, I started taking it, and, like, by the 2nd dose, the 2nd day I took my actual in the morning dose, I started having chest pains. When I mean I felt like I was having a heart attack, I felt like I
um,
was having a heart attack. And I did all the things I know that works for my stomach condition, and it
right,
didn't help. And I was like, "Oh my god, this pain." It started like a pain in my shoulder, and then it went up to my neck and into my chest. And I knew that that wasn't normal. That wasn't something my stomach condition has ever done.
right,
And so I had to make the choice, knowing that I can't take NSAIDs, to chew up 2 aspirin,
right,
knowing that can make my stomach bleed. And when I chewed up 2 aspirin, that was when the chest pain started going away.
right,
That lets you know that it's actual chest pain, that you're
right,
trying to have a heart attack.
right,
Well, I told him this, and he was like, "No, no, no, no. That medicine doesn't normally cause this. Blah 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 blah. This. I'm gonna put you on it again." I said, "Well, if the same thing happens and something happens to me, you're gonna be held responsible."
right,
Put me on again, same thing. Had to stop taking it. I went back to him and said, "Look, I've told you this medication is trying to, unalive me. That
right.
some, you know, and he didn't." I told them from that day out, I'd never wanted to see him again, or him
Absolutely.
be anywhere in my care, because he kept trying to claim it was my stomach condition that was causing. I was like, my stomach
Right,
condition don't feel like somebody squeezing my heart and
right.
a bear sitting on my chest.
Yeah, I know what
Um,
you're talking about too. Yeah,
I said,
that's
"It
what
don't feel that way."
my doctor gave me some kind of a different type of blood pressure medicine one time, and luckily I had to go back and see him a week later for whatever we were had an appointment. But anyway, he was trying to slow my heart rate down, but because it's higher than usual, you know, it's higher than usual. Anyways, I when I went back, I mean that whole week I was feeling sluggish. I wasn't even putting the two and two together. I felt like just tired and just ill, like the whole. I mean, just tired and like wore out. I don't know. It was a big difference. Anyway, in my hands, like fingers, it turned. I forgot what happened. They were turning like purple or something. I forgot what happened. Something like that. But when I went to the doctor, she took my blood pressure. It was like 60 over 70 or something, or some crazy shit like that. I was like, whoa, no wonder I'm feeling bad. Like this shit's trying to take me out. It's about to stop my blood altogether or something because that's not normal for me at all. Like that's way off. And he cut me off that real quick. He said, well, at least we know that works, but we ain't gonna do that no more. And like, and my sister said that somebody else they put on that they had to monitor them in the hospital when they put them on it first to make sure, you know. But we didn't do that. But thank God I went back to him in a week because it was trying to stop my blood pressure altogether and stop my shit altogether. I guess. I
Yeah,
don't
if
know.
they ever put you on BP meds and you feel sluggish, tired, like really, really just like you're
Well, I mean, I
exhausted,
feel
and
that way all the time from other stuff. So how would I know nowadays? So
I would suggest getting up and moving around, because lowering your blood pressure too much can cause you to actually go into a coma.
right, and that's where I feel like I was headed that at that time, but I didn't know it. But so now now every time I go to the doctor, my heart rate is 120 every time now ever since.
I've been like that since I was a kid. I tell people, because when I was younger, like, my pulse rate didn't go below 100. Never has. It's always been that way, right? Because I got ADHD, so I'm very hyper, right?
Mine's never been below 100 either, but it's never been 120 though. I don't know if that's
That
what it.
is true. That is true. Mine's only been that high once or twice, a few times. When I used to try to give blood, I don't know if you know this, but in order to give platelets, you have to be under 100. Your heart rate has to be under 100.
Right.
So I was never able to give like like the platelet
Yeah.
thing. I
Yeah.
was always just regular giving blood, and there was a few times I was completely told I could not give blood, because if it's over 115, they won't even let you give blood.
Yeah. They didn't want to give into the chemo that one day. I mean, the whatever you call it treatment that day because it was so high. I was like, well, this is how it's been the last however many times. I guess that's my normal now. I don't know, but I don't know, but I know I went to the ER one time. I was going because of different I was headed up there. I couldn't hardly get to the ER or like walking. It felt like every time I took a step or two, my heart was going to blow up or something. Like it was like too much on it or something. I don't know why. When I got in there, they took me back to triage. And my boyfriend at the time went out to smoke a cigarette. And during the time, he went just thinking I was just going to get my blood pressure and fever and shit. It's triage, right? She
Yeah.
was sitting there. I was trying to explain stuff to her. I guess she was not listening to me at all. And then she's like, she just stopped me. She's like, "Does your heart feel like it's beating really fast?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you." And then she called a code red, whatever it was. It was 220 something. My heart rate was. She called whatever over this thing. They threw me in a wheelchair, rushed me back, put me on the thing, and they said they were about to stop my heart. And he's like, "Get it as close to her heart as you can." They were going to give me a shot that was going to stop my heart. I was like, "Okay." And they shot me in the neck. I was watching the machine up there, my heart rate up there. It was like 220. And then they shot me in the neck and it went, bam, went down to 80 immediately. And I felt so beautiful. I felt wonderful. When I went home, I got up and went home. I felt so good. But anyway, it's good. They ended up having to do a catheter ablation on my heart because it was short circuiting. Like instead of going all the way around, it had a little piece that was letting it go, just do half of a cycle, whatever. So they had to go in there and burn that little piece off so it would do the full, go all the way around like it's supposed to. Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you get the idea. But 220 was crazy. Okay.
220 is crazy, and that's called there's trachecardia and there's uh bicard or yes, bradycardia. Bradycardia, I believe, is the one when your heart rate is real slow, and trachecardia, I believe, is the one where it's high. It may be opposite right now because I'm not looking directly at the thing that tells me that. But I've had pretty much I've had that my entire life ever since I was little. And it's just my norm for me. And
Yeah.
I would tell the doctors, I'm like, that's normal for me. That's not abnormal. It's been that way since I was a kid. My pulse rate's always been high. And I've always been a little hypertensive. But they just put me on a low dose. I'm on lisinopril now, a low dose version.
Me too.
Just to, yeah. I will say I've not had any problems with lisinopril like I did. There was one girl
I
that they
think
put
it
me on.
starts with. I bet it probably starts with the M. The one you're talking about. That's probably the same thing I was talking about. Whatever the
Yeah,
other one.
amlodipine is the one that gave me the heart condition, and then amlodipine or something like that. And then there was
Oh, I have to
another one.
stop. They had me on that here with this stuff, and I quit taking it because that was causing me to. Yeah, that was causing me some issues too.
That
And I,
was causing me to feel like I was having a heart attack, and then another one they put me on, I forgot the name of it. It was a weird one. It made me every time I went out in the sun, and we live in the South, we can't not get out in the sun. I would break out in hives, and heat rashes because of the medication every
yeah,
time. Like,
heat does me so bad. I get so ill if I go out in the sun and the humidity, especially. I mean, I get so ill. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And it's probably may have something to do with a lot of the medicines I take too. But you know what else? One of these pills I noticed. On the bottle, it's like the warnings or may cause all the different stuff. Don't take this when you this whatever. So you got all these warnings on the side of these little prescription bottles. One of my bottles says, "Do not eat grapefruit or drink grapefruit juice." I've never seen that before in my life.
let me explain to you that what that
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
It basically makes the medicine more powerful and can cause an overdose. So
I've
there's a
never seen
lot of
that in my life.
medications that have that, like neuropathy, the stuff for neuropathy pain,
Yeah,
a lot of different things like that, that it can enhance the medication and cause an overdose. That's why they tell you no grapefruit.
I just happened to look at that because I wasn't paying any no attention because I thought it was just the general whatever, but I was like grapefruit. What? I didn't know that. I had no idea. I've never seen that before.
Well, there's
Never.
also like a lot of people don't know if let's say you're on stuff to not get pregnant. There's a lot of like medications if you take them in combination with that medicine will make it to
Right.
where it's less effective and you will get pregnant.
Right.
That's why a lot of people get pregnant when they're sick because a lot of the medications like not penicillin itself but like different bacterial stuff they give you, it actually affects birth control, and so that's why a lot of women get pregnant when they're sick
Right.
because they don't know that there's an interaction with the two.
Yeah. Well, you'd think doctors would tell you stuff like. I mean, they would know, wouldn't they? You'd think. I mean, I don't know. That's the whole point of the way they got these my charts now, where it all where everybody can see what the other doctor. If you have multiple doctors, they should be able to know what you're getting from this. So they don't have those problems. That's supposedly is what, so they can access your records and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. But anyway, some of them don't take
Tia
time to
Femme
look at them.
Queen says that her uncle's great, anti-rejection meds. He can't take grapefruit for the same reason. So he takes anti-rejection because he has a liver. He has a new
Yeah.
liver because of cancer, and for that anti-rejection med, it can affect the medication. So there are certain medicines that either enhances or affects the medication to where it can become ineffective. Just
Yeah.
like there's certain
Well,
antibiotics.
my thyroid medicine I'm supposed to take by itself without any food or drink or anything before all my other medicines. And I think like the heartburn medicine I take and stuff like will make it less effective. And I've never been. I always just take them all at the same time, which is not great, but that's probably not good. I mean, it's not being effective. Probably, I'm
Well,
sure.
you have one medicine that says you're supposed to take it on an empty stomach. You got another medicine that tells you're supposed to take it on a full stomach. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm
what
doing
the
good just to
shit?
take all this medicine, period. So I just like get them all at once and take them down. Well, I used to anyway, because it would be before work or something. But I ain't gonna wake up and take no medicine. Okay, girl. Listen, this is something. I think she's trolling us. I think that she's trolling us. She started saying this one thing when we were at bed one night. It's just, and then I was like, "What? What?" And I kept going, "What?" Because I can't understand what she's saying. Quit. So now she does it to us all the time. She says, and nobody knows what she's saying. Stop, stop, stop,
She,
stop. It's something like baby Agnes or something. I don't know. She don't baby Agnes. Like I think she's trolling us. I really don't think she's saying anything, but just because we made a big deal out of it, she keeps saying it all the time. Girl, bye. I was gonna see if I could tell what she was saying, but no.
I'll tell you the funniest thing, which somebody told me. They've got a little kid in their life about her age, right? And a phone solicitor called them one day. So they took the phone and gave it to the baby, and the baby just, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? A hand in the air, just waving like they
Right,
talking.
right,
And
right,
they thought it was the funniest thing in the world to like have the baby talk to the phone solicitor. Because the baby just going on, ah, da, da, ba, 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 woo, 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 like doing baby talk because they're young, right? And you
right,
can't understand.
right,
It's not sentences you don't really know. And
right.
it's the
Yeah,
cutest
just
thing.
don't
I'm
let
like,
don't let a good talking toddler get on there because they'll tell all your business. Yeah, my mama's right here. I'm saying, let's say all your business.
oh, and
And
the funny videos. Have you
kids say
seen
the
some of those
dumbest things
videos?
and they don't hold back.
There was this one lady who she said that her kid went to school and stated that, yeah, mommy does videos in her room and I can't be there when she does it, like if as if it was like OnlyFans or something weird or something bad. And it was
Right,
just she didn't want him in there, and he went when she did her TikTok videos, regular videos, but
right,
he made it
right,
seem so weird.
right. Exactly. Like I seen somewhere a kid was told his teacher told them that their parents growed weed or something, and they was just talking about like the weeds outside, in the garden. I mean, in the whatever they was, you know what I mean. It was funny though.
Oh yes, I think I know what one you're talking about, where they were outside picking weeds out of the garden, and the kid went to school and said, "My mom and daddy love to pick weed,"
Yeah,
and it was literally the weeds out of the garden. And there's been quite a few stories of that where kids like take like something that's super simple but make it sound super bad, and it's those some of those videos are super hilarious, and the parents like super embarrassed and has to go up there and explain like, look, he's talking about such and such. Yeah, he just said it wrong. Like we was quite literally picking weeds out of the garden. I literally grow a garden. Oh, kids say the darndest things is really true. And they don't care. Toddlers are savage. They will call you fat in a minute. They don't give a damn. They could be extremely mean sometimes. Hey, happy life.
sometimes I wish we still had the mind of children where we don't worry and don't we just don't care. We just do. Girl, stop. where we ain't got everybody's, telling us don't do this or you can't do this or whatever in life, and worrying about everything else, and we just be free minded and just do stuff. We probably could do a lot more.
Do what it, because you think about it, little kids, they just do what they please and don't think about what others say or do to them. They're like, woo, let's have fun. Let me go dig in this yard right quick. Woo, I'm gonna run through the house like a buck Indian because it's fun. And
Yeah, like this monkey on my back right now. She's climbing up me. God, Jane, Jesus, girl, get off me. She is off the chain. I mean, she is off the chain. She's very keeping me very busy. Oh Lord, terrible twos.
them terrible twos is something special. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna tell you the time frame that really gets on me. I don't know about you, but it's the when they start getting in the questioning phase. Why does this do that? Why does that do that? Blah 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 blah.
Right. She's like,
You over
she
here?
was coming over here grabbing something. Like she reached in my purse, grabbed something, and took off and went under the bed with it. Like, damn, could you stop? Like, I can't have nothing. She's in everything and everything. And she's gone. She thinks it's funny. She grab it, run. I'm like, damn.
And they giggling the whole way.
Yes. She thinks it's so funny, hilarious. I'm like, girl, have to crawl under the bed and try to chase her down. Then I realized I don't need to do that. My head starts spinning around and shit.
Kids are something special, and like you don't worry about a kid when they're making all kind of racket and being crazy. You worry about a kid when they get quiet.
Yes, I know. I'm like, where is she? Where is she? I'm like, can't take your eyes off her for a minute. You seen a video where the kid made a card for dad, put capital letters for see you next time. Oh Lord. Right. I've seen a lot of those things like teachers where they grading, I don't know, stuff that's showing stuff that kids have wrote or said, answers they put. My son was like an adult. I mean, not an adult. He was like in middle, I don't remember, like in middle school or something. Girl, hush. He was trying to fill out something, a paper for school, and it said emergency number, and he put 911. He was
Oh,
serious as hell. He was so serious. And then I seen a lady on social media recently. Girl, stop talking. You talking too much. I seen her when she took her son to the bank to open up an account, and they were like, he was filling out the paperwork, and they asked him for his social, or I don't know if they said it out loud or he filled it out. Anyway, they asked him for his social, and he put down Facebook, YouTube, and shit like that. He put his social media shit instead of social security number. And she was like, give me my medicine. There you go. Got my, give me that. Give me my pills. No, you're not touching that. No, no. I'm finna have to whoop you, but we about to get in the whooping phase. I'm gonna have to pop her leg, trying to take my medicine and run.
when they get that age, you gotta watch them about everything. It's always the no, no, don't do that. No, no, don't do this. Get out of that. What the crap are you doing right
No,
now?
you need a lock on everything. You need a lock for everything. No, 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 no. No. And I can't. As soon as I try to chase her, I'm already out of breath. My chest hurting. Can't do nothing. Nothing. Not even just.
I
Oh no,
absolutely.
not the sugar.
Oh no. She's gonna smother you with all the kisses. Give all the kisses.
I was reading K-Fam talking about they got in the pantry and the sugar.
Oh my god. I don't know how many kids have done that over the lifetime. It's either the sugar or the flour. How many of us got into either the sugar or the flour and got it all over the place and made such a mess and got in trouble? And then the parents always wonder, how did they get into that? Like you be having it up in places where the kid can't reach it. It's crazy. They had climbed in the pantry and grabbed. I bet that sugar was all over the place too, and I bet it was heck to clean up because them little sugar granules be everywhere, and they just sitting there licking their fingers while eating the sugar, knowing they're gonna be more jacked up. And you're like, oh my god, now they're gonna be jacked up on sugar. Lord help me, please. Jesus, take the wheel.
Oh my goodness, we just got another flash flood warning. So we about to do this again? Jesus. I didn't
Yeah.
know. Again? I didn't know we was gonna do this again. We got more weather coming. Shit. Dang. Well, it is April. I guess April showers brings May flowers.
And you know how it is down south
Chocolate
down
egg
here.
black. Oh my god. Ugh.
Oh, my
That's
sister
horrible.
did that though, but she did it when she was older, which should have known better, right?
You know?
And
But
let
they
me
do
tell you
make
what
them
she
look like Hershey bars. They do have them ones that look like Hershey bars.
well, see, my sister, this is what she told me. I was young and stupid and didn't know no better, right? So there's a big age gap there, right? And she should have known better. I didn't. And she goes, "Yeah, there's this special candy bar in the fridge, but she don't want us to have none. So, we need to eat it." And yeah, that was not a good idea. I think I actually turned it down because I knew what it was. My mom used to keep it for me because I always had digestive issues when I was little. And my sister thought that it was an actual chocolate candy bar when it was not, obviously. It came out both ends. Oh, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I hated when we was kids and get them damn stomach viruses. I ain't got one of them in a while, but that was some of the worst stuff, man. Being a little bitty kid, getting that stuff coming out the rooter and the tutor and every other place in between. Man, when those went around the school system and everybody got them, mm, every kid in the class. Oh man, I remember when they had a pink eye outbreak. And all the teachers came in with the sprays and was spraying everything down, wiping everything down because one kid got it and they were scared the whole everybody was gonna get it. Man, that used to be the thing back when we was little kids. y'all did it in the bathtub. Y'all was hollering like on bridesmaids. It's coming out like lava. You know when bridesmaids when she was over top of the sink doing it because
Oh my god.
they went to that damn Mexican restaurant and ate them tacos.
I had an allergic reaction to a pill one time that we had to call the ambulance. I mean, my daughter did. It was like first my hands were itching so bad they wouldn't stop itching so bad I want to cut them off. We were trying everything, putting them in ice. I mean, it was so bad I want to cut them off. But then my throat, I could tell it started was wanting to close it. But anyway, she had called the ambulance. Well, I was in there when they got there. They had to wait because it was coming out both. I mean, I was like having. I was on the toilet shitting and throwing up at the same time. Like it was so bad. I had all those reactions, and then they finally put me in ambulance, gave me 2 shots of Benadryl, and I was better. But it was like, damn, all that stuff. It says if you have a reaction, that I was going through that. I was like, Jesus.
Jesus, take
I'm allergic to
me.
morphine, so I think it was a hydrocodone that had morphine in it too, or something, or some shit. I guess I don't know, but I'm allergic to morphine, so
My mom's allergic to morphine, but I'm not. I'm allergic to codeine. So I had my tonsils out when I was, like 14 or something, and I didn't know I was allergic to codeine because they'd never given it to me before,
right,
and it made my throat close. Like I almost had to be airlifted, and
yeah,
I wasn't even stable enough to be airlifted. They almost had to put a tube down my throat, but they basically knocked me out with a morphine drip for an entire week. I didn't even know I was in the world. I was like, huh?
and for a whole week.
A whole week. And the
Jeez.
reason they knock you out like that is because when you're awake and you're can't breathe good, obviously you freak out, which makes it worse, right? But if they knock you out, you breathe better because you're not freaking out because you can't breathe.
Right, right, that makes sense. But I just thought a week is a long time. Anyways, did you lose all your views talking about all this crazy shit you're talking about? No, you got a good 43. No, sorry, y'all. I'm gonna shut up now. I should get down because I'm dominating this. Hey, happy life, happy wife. No, I just want to say it.
I mean, Happy Life needs a happy wife. Happy Life, I've known him for quite a while. From the beefing sector. He
Hopefully
came over.
it's the other way around, ain't it? Happy wife equals happy life. Sorry.
Happy Life is actually a man.
I know,
Um,
but if he has a happy wife, then he has a happy life. So he probably has a happy wife. I'm joking. He don't.
that I know of, no. But
Actually, I think he probably has a happy life without a woman. Actually, whenever you get through.
hey, he probably got a happy life. I tell you that. Shoot, he probably chilling like a villain. I'd be chilling like a villain, but I do want to thank you, Arkansas, for being so open and honest about your condition because not a lot of people are willing to share. Because we do know there are people who are going to try to say something or, be assholes. But I will say this, we all know we're stronger and we're more awesome and we have better hearts. So no matter what they say, no matter what they try to do to defame others' characters, it's going to turn around on them because it makes
You have
them
to
look
look
like
at
an
it like this.
asshole.
What? Well, listen, like what idiot that is just completely ridiculous idiot says. How could we even care about that? It's irrelevant. He's just a dummy. Nobody cares. He's stupid. He's stupid. I can't even care anymore because like look at whose mouth it's coming out of. He says the most dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. So yeah, irrelevant, stupid idiots.
Well, see, that's why I ignore a narcissist like that. Because they want that attention, right? They want
Exactly.
that attention. They
Exactly.
strive for it.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Eric Foss, for riding with Arkansas.
Thank you. Appreciate
She
it.
she does deserve and is a trooper and is an amazing person. And she don't really go around bothering people like that. I don't really go around bothering people like that. Like I don't go to other people's channels and leave all kinds of comments or do disparaging things. I don't take it real life like that. I'm not calling people's families. I'm not bothering
Hell
people's
no.
neighbors. I just
Never.
tell the truth with your own words.
Right.
And just because you can't stand that, you can't stand the truth, you want to do evil things to people, right?
Yeah.
Um, I have done none of those sorts of things at all because I
All
don't
I
take.
think about is, oh, how look, we're winning, we're winning. We had this many viewers, you had this many. If that's your whole life, that's what you're focused on. That's what excites you. That's all you got to work with. That's all you got going on for you to worry about. Then you are definitely not winning. That's all I can say about that. Because who
Not
gives
winning
a
in
fuck about your
life.
stupid numbers? Nobody. You're so. That's all you're consuming with. Nobody gives a damn about these numbers. You ain't winning because you got 100. We got 40. That don't mean shit. You losing because you really so focused on that. That's your life fucking ambition. I don't know. It's ridiculous. So sad.
I, I'm gonna guess that they've never went outside and touched grass or do anything that really is important in life. Obviously doesn't raise their children, so or try to
Truly.
have, try to. Because here's the thing, I'm gonna say this for all of us, and we all know this. When we pass away, what do we have left but our children, our grandchildren, and so on and so forth, to keep our family name going, to have, that and to pass on our knowledge and our love to keep passing on and passing on to others because once we're no longer here we're in the ground, right? What do we have as a what do you call it, a legacy? Our legacy is our children, our legacy is our family that we leave behind. And if you leave behind nothing but the fact that you were a bad person, you basically will be forgotten in the tomes of history. You've done nothing and
For
will be
sure.
nothing.
For sure.
So who's to worry about someone who's a nothing? I will say I'm in fear for my life, though. I'm in fear for my life. I'm afraid. I'm very
Right.
afraid.
Right.
Yeah. I'm a
Yep.
fear for my life for real, y'all. Like
Me,
they
me
trying
too.
to, do something to
Me
me.
too.
Mhm.
Me too.
We afraid for our lives, and people who do things like that.
Hmm.
But the truth, if the truth hurts, I'm sorry about that. You just got to live in your truth.
Yep.
I live in mine.
Yep.
Um and what I go through every day, and I live and I keep going. And guess what? I'm gonna keep living and keep going. You're not gonna end my life. It's not gonna happen.
Right.
Um, and I'm gonna continue to keep going and keep living and eating my food every day and watching my TV shows and playing my video games and uh, you know, I'm just gonna keep living. That's what are you gonna like? That's all you can do, you know. What do they expect you to do? Not live?
Right. And somehow I keep growing. Look at my channel keeps growing. All kinds. I have more and more people that love me. So you ain't phasing me, motherfucker.
Everybody loves the gangster sauce now.
I don't know about all that, but yeah, but the
I
right ones
do.
do. The right ones do. That's all that matters.
Quality over quantity, and
All day,
quality
every day.
people. hmm No, I have not watched her. I have not heard from Miss Blaze. I hope she's doing well. I'm going to have to reach out to her and make sure she's doing well. Um, you know, she could be handling things on the back end also. It's possible. I will say that with these types of situations, sometimes, you have to handle things a specific way and you have to do what's best. And sometimes people mess around and find out, mess with the wrong ones and the ones that are not going to take it and they think they will, you know? So I'm not exactly sure, but that could be a guesstimation. Could be she's doing her gardening right now, you know? Sometimes she gets tunnel vision when she's doing her gardening. I'll tell y'all that. I've been knowing her for years and she's been doing this community garden for years now. So she could be having that tunnel vision going. She does that sometimes. And you won't hear from Blaze for a little while, and then she'll pop back up and she'll be like, "Hi, I'm sorry. I was gardening."
Right on. Like they got a real life. Is that what you're saying? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, they actually have a life and do things and have family that cares about them and loves them and actually go to family dinners and actually spend time with their family and their family's not a broken shell of a family. Um
Exactly.
some people actually do have things that they have to do in their real life and they have real family and they go visit their family and love up their family and all those things. Some people don't have that and I understand
Like
for
they've
those
never been
that
to a
don't.
wedding or a funeral or anything like these family things. They don't even know what. They don't have a clue. Just one day though, it's gonna hit hard when something happens. I'm sorry. Sorry about your luck. You're gonna feel it. Sure, I hate that. Or you may
Yep.
not. You're so self-consumed in yourself. Maybe you just don't give a fuck. Not you. You know, I ain't talking to you clearly.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, girl. I'm gonna say this for those who do these kind of things, one day it will turn around on them because what you put out in this universe and the karma that you reap, what you sow, will come back. And it's gonna come back with a vengeance. Remember, you reap what you sow, what you put out there and what you do to others can happen unto you. When you wish death upon someone, or you wish unaliving on them, or you wish, for something bad to happen to others, it will happen to you. Every time you do that negativity and put it out in this universe, it's going to come back to you. I don't know how. You know what I'm saying? I can't predict all those things, right? I can't do that. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that if you do something bad, for every reaction there is a counteract. It's like for every time you do something, those scales they lean. And so when you do those things, remember that it can come back to you. It that's the way karma works. That's the way life works. When you do bad and put
Where
bad
the
out into
universe
this
works.
universe. Yep. It's just the way the universe works, and I can't tell you what's going to happen. I don't know, and I have no earthly idea, but I know it will because that's just the way it works.
Yeah, I hope I'm around to see it. No, I'm just playing. Let me shut up.
Hey girl, I hope I had my popcorn. I hope I had me a good old Dr. Pepper, and I'm just gonna be sitting there eating my popcorn. You know what I mean?
Yes, Lord, forgive me for saying that. Anyway, but yeah, I appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome. I'm gonna
That
have
is,
to
that's all of us Southerners, ain't it? Lord forgive me.
Jesus take the wheel. That's what I say too.
I say Jesus take the wheel all the time. I'm so glad I met you, Gangsta Sauce, because like I just love your personality and who you are as a person, and the fact
I
that
love you too. I love yours as well. Awesome.
as we're we're awesome. We're totally freak me out of me right now. Okay, I'm sorry.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What, I'm just like,
I just totally had for some reason that just went through my mind. Don't ask. I don't know. Uh,
I like it. I just gotta learn it. Don't I?
sometimes random things just run through my brain, just like random music all of a sudden.
All the time for me, music. I'll make a song at every word you say. It's got a song to go with it. I love music. Music is my life. Music is to me is life. I told my daughter, or I told everybody basically, I don't want a funeral. I want a concert because I like music so much. I need it to be a concert. I need somebody playing music, doing something.
I
So don't.
want people to have a straight up puff puff repass, even though I don't smoke, right? I
I
don't
don't
do
either,
any
but
I don't do any of those things because of, health conditions. So I don't. But I would like for people to do a puff puff repass. You know how like the bikers used to do it, to where people would get drunk and puff puff repass and just have a whole party. That's what I want. I want people to just get so drunk and sloppy drunk, and I don't even drink, but I want them to get sloppy drunk, falling all over the place. I want them to have
I don't know.
fun.
Some people can't handle liquor right. They might be fighting and shit. No, I'm saying, I don't want no fighting now. No.
I just want it to be fun. I want them to do karaoke night.
It better be a band or something going on, some music somewhere. That's all I'm saying. I'm just. I
Like
know
I
when my
want them to
daughter
have a
died, all
whole
her friends, like a whole bunch of her friends, they pulled up and we in the country, we country hillbilly, whatever the hell you want to call it. This dude had a jacked up truck with these big old tires. He pulled right up beside the grave and turned his music all the way up. And because they used to go to the cowboy together or something, like before she passed away, and they would all dance. I guess apparently so. Uh, that wobble wobble, you know what I'm talking about? Wait, is that
yeah.
the song? I think that's the song. I think that's it. Anyway, they
Let me
crunked that
see
up
you
really
wobble.
loud after we finished they finished putting her in the ground and stuff. And the little service, they crunked it up. All of them went out there in a line and they danced. They did the dance that she taught them, I guess, or something. It was so cute. I mean, it was so, it was a nice, change of from going from sad to, I mean, it's really pretty to watch. It was cool to watch. I don't know.
You talking about the song "Baby Wobble"? You wobble with me, wobble with me.
I don't know if that's it. I think that might be. I think it's something. I forget. Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong. It's one of them songs. It
It
is that
is.
one. Yeah, it is that one. Yeah, it was that one. But apparently, it's something they used to do out there together, and they all did it. And it was like really, I wasn't expecting it. They crunk it up. Yeah, let's go. It was cute. Then I was kind of worried about it. Yeah, go follow Instagram. No, I'm joking. But I mean,
Oh,
it was her and her friend. They were so they were. It was two of them out there that passed during the car accident. So my best friend's daughter was in there too, so they were all out there together, and it was just a change of what I mean from the sad to the I wasn't expecting. It was cool. That's all I'm saying. I don't even know why I brought that up. What am I talking about?
um, I will say that is pretty cool in my opinion, because it was like you're doing it's unexpected, so it makes everybody smile, and in that time you need that because you're so brokenhearted. You know what I'm saying? You
Right,
need
right,
that little funny ha ha, and like that's
exactly.
what they would have done if they were there.
Like I don't think anybody in America enjoys a funeral. I mean, clearly because they don't enjoy it because somebody died. But I mean, it's the worst thing to sit there and just go there, just sit there during your funeral is the worst. Like who wants to do that? I don't think anybody. I don't think you should do that. It's the worst. Nobody wants to do it. I'm not going to any more funerals. I don't went to so many that I can't even. At one time, I mean, I did. I went to so many in a row. I was just done. I was done. Like I'm done. But anyway, so I don't want a funeral. I want it to be crank up the music, please. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you should remember me. Music should be involved for sure. For sure. I
Have a
love it.
whole party, a puff puff repass.
Yeah, do
Make sure you
whatever
do
you
some
got to do.
karaoke.
Yeah, I don't puff and puff, but do what you got to do. Whatever it is, just make it up. Let there be music. Let there be music crunked up. Let's go. Crunked up ain't a word either. Made it up.
Have a sip for me. Pour one out for the homies. Do all that.
Girl,
I don't
wait.
drink. I don't smoke, but do it for me.
I didn't realize how different cultures do it. Awake. Okay, so we have clearly we have like I guess visitation wake they call it whatever before we have it on one day and then the funeral will be the next or something like that. You know what I mean? But they go really fast. White people go really fast. Like I was immediately making plans. I didn't even have time to grieve or think. It was just insanity. Like they do it so fast. But anyway, but awake, I didn't realize till I was with the dude from Louisiana. Like awake down there, they stay all freaking day. Like you stay all day. I guess they stay all night too, is why they call it awake. I didn't realize that. Like that's a little to me is a little crazy. Like because visitation you'll have it for a couple hours, but awake they stay all the entire day at the funeral home with the body or whatever, or all night or whatever down there. It's weird to me. That's crazy to me. I don't know.
I don't know. We used to do that. Now I will say, we kind of did something like that for my brother when he passed. We had a 3 day, but it was only 3 days, right? Where
Three
I've seen
days.
some of those go for a week. I've
That
seen some
even
of
give
them
me
go
time to
for a
think.
week.
I don't know. White people's bodies don't last as long as black people because black people they'll go week. Let all the family come from everywhere before they have a funeral. I mean, I don't know. I guess we don't hold as well, preserve as well because they immediately go so fast. Funerals happen so quick. I mean, like after a person passes, like you don't even have time to comprehend what's going on. Really, I couldn't think straight anyway. I couldn't, trying to make decisions and stuff. I was like just a lot. But yeah. Anyway, it was crazy. It's crazy to me though. I don't know. I'm still talking. Sorry. Another thing in
I
Louisiana, they don't do like Arkansas does, and probably some most. If there's a funeral, you're supposed to pull over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do that here. You're supposed to
They
pull
don't
over,
in
bow your
Louisiana.
head.
They don't do that. And not only that, we had to go to get to the grave wherever the gravesite was. We had to go through all these red lights and stuff like it, and everybody got broken up. It was like such. Cops kept trying to go from one red light to the next to stop traffic, but they couldn't. There was only one of them. Couldn't like make it was so insane. It was so crazy. I was like, why don't people just let the funeral go by? You know what I mean? The whole
Yeah,
thing was
down
broken up.
here, you even if you're at a red light and the red light is red, you stop for a funeral procession.
Yeah.
Even if you're green,
And
like
people
and they're
were
red.
making so rude to me. I was like, damn, this is so stupid and chaotic. Like, why don't y'all just stop? They would not do it. They was not doing it. Totally different from what I'm used to here. Because
Yeah, and we pull over a lot. If it's a one lane, we'll pull completely over and put your head down and bow your head in respect. You say a
well,
prayer
I
when you
mean,
funeral procession go by.
I don't
And
expect all that, but at least let the little procession go by so they follow each other to the like. Some people don't know where they're going. If you know in the smaller towns they might automatically know, but I mean, you trying to follow the procession, you need to let them folks go. Like, why would you not just let them go and just be cutting it? It was so chaotic. It was stupid. I mean, I thought, how disrespectful are these people. I guess you don't have to pull over for emergency vehicles either. Is that a thing in certain places? Because I think there's a law here. You're supposed to, well, maybe not. You know what I mean? If a
well, if it's a one lane, you're supposed to pull over off on the side for them. If it's a two
Yeah,
lane, you get in the lane they're not in.
exactly. You let
Um,
them go by or whatever they got to do to get to where they're going.
and
Well,
now
they
I will
wouldn't do.
say it's like that in some other places, but not as much as it is down here. Down here, it's a law. You
Right, that's
can't.
what I thought.
And
I thought so. I thought so. But apparently it's not everywhere because it trips me out when I see that people just keep on continue about like pull it. Oh, what in the hell's wrong with y'all? I'm like, what is going on? This is crazy.
it is to think about some of the things that we do. Like even I didn't know that they didn't pull over for funeral processions in different places. I was like, huh? I was like, y'all don't do that out of respect. Um,
Not even just the respect part. It was so dangerous and chaotic. And just the fact that the way that people was it was insanity basically. Not even just for the respect, but just for it to for the people to go through and people were just pulling out front. It was insanity. It was just like wow. It was crazy.
especially if you got to think about if you're from outside the area and you're trying to follow the
That's
possession.
what I'm saying. People don't know exactly where to go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like, but down here, I know for a fact we pull over, and is it a law? No, but we do it out of respect for the person who
Exactly.
passed
Exactly.
away and their family.
For sure. Yeah.
I didn't know they didn't do that, and, my fiance, I told him one day, I said I saw one, and I told him to pull over, he was like, "Huh?" 'Cause where he's from, they don't really do that, and I'm like, "Y'all don't do that?"
I didn't realize a lot of stuff. Like when I was doing call center and I was taking calls from all over. And me, the fact that I say ma'am, yes, sir, some people even get offended by that. Like, what? That's just like, that's what you say. You know what I mean? That's just what we were taught. It's not like some people, they don't even think, I thought it's courtesy or whatever you want to call it. Polite. I don't know. It's what I thought, but some people actually got offended. I mean, I just had no idea they find it offensive. I mean, it was crazy.
I Same thing. I've been told by people to not call them that, and I'm like, I kinda can't help it. It's
I
part of
can't
who
help it
I
either.
am.
Right, exactly. I can't help it. I mean, it's nothing against. It's not offensive. I don't know why anybody be offended by it. It's crazy, but whatever.
A lot of people assume that we're talking about age with that, and we're not. We're
Right,
not calling you old. In fact,
right,
I say that to people younger than me.
right.
I'll say that to a 16,
Yeah,
17, 18
me
year
too.
old. Like,
Me too.
yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. If I'm talking to somebody that's 20 years old and I'm 37, I'm 17 years their senior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still saying something because for
The
me,
same.
it's respect.
It is. That's what I think anyway. But that's just the way we were taught. Yes. So. And we speak to everybody or wave at people that go by sometimes on the road.
Mhm.
Stuff like that. And you go to other places. I hear because I ain't really been nowhere special to know that. But like they don't like other places. They just don't even. They don't do it.
Oh,
You know
they'll
what I
look
mean?
at you weird.
Yeah.
I've gotten it in different places that I went because I've traveled quite a bit, and I've gotten that weird look.
Yeah.
But usually when they hear my my country twang, they
Right.
understand that for me, it's just who I am, and
Right.
they kind of overlook it. But at first they look at you like you weird as hell because you're so nice.
I tell you who tells it best. I think it's hilarious. That Angela Johnson. She's a comedian. I love stand up comedy. Anyway, she does the one where she moved from California to Tennessee, and the difference. She does it about bless your heart and stuff like that. And people talking in the stores like, if they, can they help you and follow you, all those type of stuff. And she said, it turns out she didn't even work there. It was like so funny. But anyway, but she talks about
Actually,
all that.
my short, that I have on my page, it says, "If our eyelashes are right here, it was her. It's her stuff."
Yeah, she's so funny, but it was hilarious. And she was like, she's like, well, bless your heart. Well, I'm gonna pray for you. Well, I'm gonna pray for you. Anyway, she was getting all. It's so funny. It's so funny the stuff she said. She talked about a tornado warning she got on her phone during the middle of the night, and she was panicking out. And her husband wasn't even waking up. Like, it's fine, you know what I mean? Because we get them, we used to that shit. But she was like, no, they woke me. Like they sent into She was freaking out about tornadoes.
That's the thing about, like, when people are from up north and they move down here, they freak out over, "Oh, no, it's about 5 miles up the road. We alright."
Exactly, exactly. This is a
But you're
normal
under the
thing.
warning. But no, it's above us. We cool, or it's below us. We cool.
She's like, they sent waking me up in the middle of the night with this alert. She thought it was an Amber Alert at first, but anyway, but yeah, it's funny to listen to though the differences. Learning the differences when you come from somewhere else. I imagine it is crazy. It is interesting, but she tells it so funny. I just love that one, especially when she talks about the bless your heart part. That shit's funny too. But yeah,
Oh, uh, when a friend of mine was coming down here one time, they stopped at a store, and just like, "Where are you from?" "I'm from New York." And he goes, "Oh, bless your little heart, you from the big city." He's like, I couldn't tell if they were being nice or if they were being condescending or talking shit.
exactly.
And it's all how it's said. You got to listen to the context of a Southerner, because some of us say bless your heart and really mean it, and I'll pray for you and really mean it. And there's another person, however, they go,
Yeah,
bless,
they're being sarcastic. Yeah,
yeah, bless your little heart. I'm going to pray for you. That is not a good thing. And it's also like if they say, "Oh, they just a little touched in the head," we gonna pray for them.
of course they will. Shit.
They ain't right, they ain't right in the head. God bless their little hearts, bless their little soul, bless their little soul, bless them, I swear.
Thank you, CFM. Queen. I'm gonna check it out. I love stand up comedy too. That's another thing I like. Stand up comedians and shit.
Dr. Grundy Crystal. I'm gonna look that up.
What is that?
I believe that's a doctor.
Well, it
Um,
sounds like it. Duh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
that no, you're good. Oh, it's gut friendly supplements and stuff. Okay.
Oh yeah, me,
Um,
my daughter's trying to see if I looked into any kind of holistic or any type of different type of treatment for this. But I'm like, I don't know anything about this stuff, so I have to trust the doctors right now and do what they say for a minute till we get this under wraps. And then I mean, but I'm willing now at this point. I don't know if taking. I mean, first of all, how do you know if you take 18 different pills? Okay, that you ain't took for you taking 18 pills. You're doing this the infusions, right? And you got this new disease. How do you know what is what? How do you know what's causing what? You know what I'm saying? How do you freaking establish, is this from this? Is this from this? Is this normal? It's what I should have? Like, how do you even know? It's too much. To me, it's too much. It's just getting to be a lot. You know what I'm saying?
and you know where you were talking about where you got like hot the other day when I
Oh,
was looking,
I burn up, girl.
it can affect your sweat glands.
I know I
Um,
be having night sweats and shit. My neck stays soaking wet. What the hell?
and that can also cause you to be like when you can sweat, you sweat. When you can't, it can affect your temperature. It can either make you feel real cold or real hot. So it could be something to do with the condition with the immune thing, and the fact that because it acts like, you got to think about it, acts like a virus, right? Even though it's a autoimmune disease, right? Because it's raising the white blood cell counts and stuff and causing it to attack stuff. It's acting as if you got a virus. So what happens when you have a virus? You get a fever, right? So I think that's one of the reasons why it's affecting you, is because it's your body is doing all the responses as if you have, like, a cough, a cold, the flu or stuff like that. So your body's trying to fight it off. And there's not nothing to fight off, but it's acting as if it's doing that, because
I
that's
know, ain't it a damn shame that I'm my own fucking enemy fighting my damn self? Ain't that a bitch?
it
Attacking myself.
that's what they
Look
think
my
happened
luck.
with my liver when I was pregnant with my son.
Yeah.
And they think that's what caused the excess fluid, and almost passed away, and so did my son. Was because my son was a micro preemie. He was born at 28 weeks. He weighed 3 pounds 2 ounces, dropped down to 2 pounds 4 ounces. He's a miracle to be here. And quite literally, my I got a head cold when I was about 5 months pregnant, and my immune system attacked my body. That was their only thing they could come up with. Cause girl, I know what you talking about when you say you get tested for everything under the sun. Girl,
Yeah.
I had 48 vials of blood taken from me before I even got had my son, right before I went into labor. I'm
Yeah.
like,
You,
y'all gonna make me
you,
pass out.
you chirp out if you went back and looked at my chart from November up until recent, I mean, till now. The amount of, like, God, it's unreal. Like, not even that, just the blood that was taken, that was crazy. I was bruised everywhere, y'all seen it. But the not only that, I had so many what do you call it, cat CT scans. It was
Mhm.
unreal. I thought, damn, the insurance is gonna start not paying for this shit because there's too many. It was so many of those, so many X-ray or all this stuff that contains rays that probably ain't. I'm like, I probably gonna not be safe from all these scans I'm doing. Shit, I'm doing a lot. It was so many. It was blow my mind how many tests they did in a short period of time over the months. It was just a lot going on real fast all at once. It was crazy. And like it said though, it'll take you out in 5 months without treatment. So that's what was happening. You know what I mean? It was trying. It was working real hard to. I mean, it was on it. But they put me on all them steroids. That's what, until they figured out them high doses steroids. So, and that also causes issues, eventually, right? So there's
Mhm.
that. And they started letting me come down off them, and I was so excited about that because I want this stupid moon face to go away. Well,
That's
one,
that's why you have like the chubby cheek thing, is because of the
yeah, I
steroid.
know, and it's so annoying. I want it to go away so bad, but anyway, I'm down to 20
Well,
now.
at least shows it's caused from damn steroids, girl. Mine's natural.
Yeah, but it still makes me mad every time I look in the mirror. I hate it. It's so annoying. I hate it.
I
But
have
anyway,
chubby cheek syndrome all the time. Every day I have that baby face. You know that round baby face?
yeah. Well, I look like I got nuts in my cheeks. I said a mouthful of nuts. I'm just playing. So, like a squirrel.
Ah,
I'm trying to keep it for later or something. I don't know. But
yeah.
anyway, but I'm down
Well,
to 20, and I'm like trying to get off. I'm trying to wing off of them, like they said, because it was a long time I had them for a long time. I was taking high. It was really a lot. And now, then when I tell them that I'm having these chest pain stuff, they're like, maybe you should go back to your original. I'm like, I fucking don't want to. So you're just gonna have steroids be the fucking cure all, see all. I mean, I don't take. They don't give me anything for pain or anything. I guess that's what the steroids does. I guess I don't know because apparently that's supposed to correct everything that I'm feeling. I don't know what the hell, but it also causes problems when you stay on them long term. So I don't think it's a good idea either. I mean, I don't want it. I don't want to do it, but I don't know. I don't know. It made me mad. I don't want to fucking go back to up the dose back up. No, trying to get rid of his face and all those other shit. Anyways, I know that's not important, but damn it, I'm not trying to. I want to get off of them.
well,
I'm just
yeah,
saying. We keep
also,
adding more, and I'm trying to bring down some of them. Like, when am I ever going to be able to not? Am I going to take 18 pills the rest of my life every day? That's insanity. That's
I
crazy.
I will say they will keep you on immunosuppressants pretty much forever, and you're going to have to be very precautious because your immune system, they're going to try to keep it low so it doesn't continue to attack, right? And so you're going to be very cautious of being around people that are sick. Like I hate
Right,
to say it, I know you don't want to drive, but that would be your best way to travel because air flight, is that's
right.
where you catch most things. And it's almost like being a cancer patient at a point.
Yeah, I know. I
Um,
don't do it, but damn it.
I know
And
it
one
sucks.
little booger, this little girl, every time she comes back from her grandma, she's got just constant runny nose and everything else. Like, dang, she's gonna stay bringing some stuff around because she's tiny. You know what I mean? She's gonna be around whatever. I don't know. She always be trying to be sick on something. The little 2-year old, you know what I mean?
They're
Just wait,
kids. Kids
wait
do
till she gets
that.
in school. She's gonna really be around some people getting sick all the time.
Hmm. That's kids for you right there. You know what I mean? Um, but I will say I do have to get off here in a minute because I got to go adult.
Me
Unlike
too.
other people, I actually have a life and have to adult and do
Me too. I
things.
gotta go put in figure out something. Apply for everything in the world that I can find. Figure this shit out.
You gonna get it figured out because you're a strong ass individual and you got your mindset to it and you know you stubborner than anybody else. And when you set your
Stubborn.
mind to something, you gonna do it.
And I hear you. I always thought so. This one's starting to trying to change my mind a little bit, but hey, I'm gonna stick with it because y'all keep telling me to. So that's that. But I get
Because we
frustrated.
loves you and we want the bestest for you.
There ain't no friends on YouTube. Fucking lies, bullshit. I got fucking amazing people over here. What you mean,
Ain't no
motherfuckers?
friends. I got family. I'm gonna pull.
I
I'm gonna
got you.
pull a Fast and the Furious. I ain't got friends. I got family.
Some people don't know what it's like to have people that care about them and have meaningful relationships and stuff because they don't know what that is. But thank you.
Yeah, they'll
Love
never know
you.
what that is because the way they treat people is
Exactly.
uncalled for. You don't treat people that you supposedly care about in any way, shape, or form the way they do.
Right. Well, I
Um,
guess you got to care about people first, though. There's that. So, hey.
there is that.
Hey, I know Sia Films Queen. You definitely are, baby. You are. All y'all are. Shit, I ain't even lying. There's so many of them. I have amazing people. Thank you for all y'all. Thank all y'all. I mean, sorry. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for talking about it, Miss Charlie. Thanks for having me up. Love you so much.
Mwah, give that baby the hugs and kisses and the puppy.
I will do that. Will do. Thank you.
We all know that I love my animals. No matter what somebody tries to do, you just remember to always keep your head held high, to keep smiling, to keep being the bright, shining star that you are in this world. No matter what they try to do, remember that life goes on and that sometimes, yeah, you may have to handle things legally. It is what it is. And sometimes, you have to make sure that you're doing what is the best thing in the world. So that's what you got to do. I hope you all have the best day and the best afternoons in your life. I hope you keep smiling no matter what somebody's trying to do to you, no matter how much they're trying to knock you down, beat you up. Just keep smiling and keep living. And no matter what they do, it doesn't matter. And all of you are extremely loved and appreciated. Thank you all for being here. Every person who has commented and had a great day. And, even if somebody's trying to be an evil, awful person, it's going to show up in who they are and how they act. And their actions are going to speak a lot louder than their words. Their words, people can lie to you with words all day long, but actions always speak louder. And my actions speak for themselves of how much of a good person I am. I don't have to tell you. You can see it, for yourself. And if you are a part of that other side and you don't want to hear the truth about what people are doing to you behind your back, you should listen, um, because they don't care about you. You think they do, and it's not going to be me, but it is. And I'm going to pray for you and hope that you come to the realization on your own and let you do that. Y'all have a great day. I will see y'all out on those streets. Also, Mr. Eric Foss is having a live in about 2 hours that says War Report, who is really winning. Um, so that's up to y'all if y'all want to go watch it. I'm just letting y'all know that it's there. Y'all know how I do that. Is anybody else going live within the next few hours? Because I do like to support others. Miss Heidi is live right now. She does some amazing content. Miss Heidi does a lot of like things from TikTok and news. Right now, she's talking about a $75 million lawsuit. Miss Heidi is good people. I'm gonna go ahead and drop her link in my chat. She's live right now. Anybody else that is going live, please tell us when. Or we'll, just turn on a notification and look out for you. Um, you know, um, this is in case people want to go see what's going on with the Eric Foss situation and that live. I'm going to put it on here. You don't have to. Just doing my due diligence. I'm checking to see if anybody else is live. Um, just to be on the safe side. Um, you know, we don't know what's going to be said or done in the next few hours, but we'll see. I will say that I am, doing what I got to do and doing my due diligence. And I hope y'all have a blessed day. I'll see y'all later. You don't got to go, but if you choose. I'm Michelle. I'm just showing for those who want to go because I know that some people like that. Me, myself, and I'm going to go over there to Miss Heidi and check her out and see what she's doing. I don't see anybody from MobTube right now live. I'm looking. Also, Court TV is live if you like true crime, and I'm trying to see if anybody else is live. Right now, let's see. This is Court TV for those who like true crime situations. They're live at this moment. Um, I'm gonna share the true crime Court TV stuff because some people like watching that. No, I have not, Michelle. I have not. I have not listened. I will say that. I have not listened. So I really don't know. I have to go pay attention. And I'm sorry about that. It's because I've been gone 2 weeks and all this stuff came up um, for over the 2 week period. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm going to go listen though and pay attention. Uh, you know, um, I haven't really been, I was gone for 2 weeks. So all of this stuff came up very shortly for me. I just got back, so I'm having to try to catch up. And if I missed anything, um, and that offends anybody, I really do apologize because y'all know how I am. I've got to do my due diligence and all that. I don't know what's going on, but because you're upset about that, I will remove that. How about that? Does that make it better? I have no idea what's going on, but I removed it. Is that good? Sometimes I don't know of everything. of going on and what's going on. I'm trying to catch up with everything. Over the weekend, I know I missed some stuff, but I have to go back and watch. I deleted it, Michelle. I deleted it. It's gone. If you look up in chat, it's gone. I really didn't. I really don't know what's going on. But it's taken care of. It's taken care of. You know that I always look out for my peoples. Huggies. I'll see y'all later. But no, yeah. So I was just doing my thing, you know. So it's taken care of, no big deal. Sometimes we accidentally make mistakes. All of us do, you know. But I'm real enough to, you know, make those mistakes. Oh, I think Miss Heidi went off. I was gonna promote Miss Heidi. Where'd Miss Heidi go? I'm looking for her live. Right quick. Oh, there's Miss Heidi. This is Miss Heidi's channel. If y'all don't know, she's really sweet, really kind. She does a lot of great content, all different kind. She's good people's. This is Miss Heidi's channel right here. If y'all ain't know, Miss Heidi Black. Y'all see her in chat. Y'all probably spoke to her. She's a really sweet lady and does a lot of different content. I have no idea, Michelle. Michelle, I don't know. I have to go pay attention. I've been so busy and with everything going on and with all this crazy mess that's going on behind the scenes right now, I've been dealing with some stuff behind the scenes and all that stuff. So I don't really know. But I'll take care of it. No big deal. You know, it's taken care of. Okay? Love you. Because you know I care about you. And I care about people. I really don't know what's going on with that situation. You got to think when I was gone for that situation when a lot of that has went down. Y'all have a good day. Oh. Okay. So I see that now. Thank y'all for letting me know. Huggies. Bye.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm ripping my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction. This was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding. Come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Outer Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, Captain C banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training round on 1800, making time stand still. Crystalline swinging down on 1800. Watching out for them rubberheads that be stanging round on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging round on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about round 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking around 1800. Out of street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse break it out. Remember the blue apartments when OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, car blue, a big Anthony using P.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my